minutes. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Hello and welcome to episode 41 of Weekend Warriors right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your proud host, Howard Kravitz, along with Andrew Zinski, as Kapoor just wired the field at Indiana Horseshoe Indy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's bring on right now live. He looks pretty happy in the background. They're on track at Horseshoe Indy. Kyle Roscoe's with us with a big smile. Kapoor, that's good for you. That's good for me. Great way to start out Weekend Warriors. Kyle Roscoe live at Horseshoe Indy. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Sorry, everyone. There's a little delay. I'm sure you can see it on my face right now, so do apologize for the camera. Nothing I can do. You guys all know how good racetrack Wi-Fi is, but no, I just saw Dan Pride, of course, one of the heads of Godolphin, walk past me, give it a big smile, big high five. He looks at me, he goes, I don't know if she can go this far, but I'll tell you what, she's going to be on the lead. And she rocketed out there, and Junior, as Junior does, held her out real well.
Yeah, Junior's having a good day already. Already run on Ben Doog. We got people cheering already. Kyle, very exciting. We're going to have you all, Weekend Warriors show long, talking about the race day today at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Of course, it's Indiana Derby Day. Set the scene real quick. The crowd, I know there was a little rain earlier today, but it looks like it's cleared out. Track is fast, turf is firm. Set the scene for us, Kyle, at Horseshoe Indy.
Yeah, the track actually cleared out really, really well. Rained this morning, rained about we got to the track, it was drizzling, nothing bad at all. They had it listed as sloppy and good to start off the day. Hasn't rained since. I think it actually rained for about 30 seconds once that last turf race went off, when In the Stars won with Sayas aboard. So, but it cleared out real well. Nice crowd out here, both inside and out. This is always one of my favorite days to go to the races. Of course, made a tradition with myself and my dad. So, fourth year in a row we're at Indiana Derby. For Howard, you don't know this, but I'm still alive in the contest. I actually was in 7th last time I checked. So hopefully we can continue to catch a good one. Obviously starting here with Vote No.
All right. Well, good luck with Vote No. We'll come back to you in a little bit. Kyle, we'll check in about 15 minutes or so. Enjoy the day. We'll see you in a little bit.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks,
you, Kyle. All right. Andrew Zinski is here. Of course, Andrew, we not only are going to cover Horseshoe Indy, but of course, Saratoga. And they have a great stake race as well. Plus, of course, the stake race is Indy. And also Woodbine. We're going to bring up live video right now from Woodbine here in just a minute, Andrew. Race 8. There's about a minute to post. Let me go ahead and bring on the video and the audio. We should be able to hear everything just fine. I have the audio on mute right now. Andrew, talk about race 8. Who do you like? I believe this is an allowance race on the Tapeta. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. 6 furlongs, going allowance optional claiming. It's a pretty good field. I think that I have 4 choice horses here I like. I boxed them all in the try, and I faded the one here. It's taking a little bit more money than I wanted it to be. I'm between the 2, the 3, the 8, and the 9. And then I bet the 3 to win as well. Pietro Morange is riding really good right now, and this horse is in pretty good form, so I think this one has a good chance. I like the 2 off the claim, and the 8 and the 9. The 8's also off the claim for a pretty good connection, and then the 9 is taking a lot of money and outside speed. So I think it's those 4. They shape up, and a little quick handicapping, but
All right, it's wide open field. Let me bring the sound on. Make sure you can hear it.
Humber River to
we're good, Andrew.
Yeah, we're good.
More strategy out wider.
All right. Race 8 at Woodbine, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again to Woodbine for allowing us to bring on the video for this race. Then we'll talk about Saratoga and their late pick 3. I have a very strong opinion in the next race that I need to work out for me. Andrew likes the 3 a little bit here at Woodbine, who Gilt Edge for Pietro Moran. Good luck, everyone.
They stand well. Thundermaker fidgeting. They're off. And a good start nonetheless for Thundermaker's Speedy Bear. And as they settle into stride, driving through toward the inside is Gilt Edge. and plenty of pace being shown by Bachelor Pad, who's vying for that lead in the center. And on the outside, War Strategy. It's Bachelor Pad, War Strategy, Speedy Bear in front from Last American Exit and Thundermaker. A length in behind them now, Gilt Edge, Yacht Boy. On the outside, Stablemate, Humber River. And 4 lengths away, Absolute Last, Perfect Crime. Out in front, Bachelor Pad being flanked by War Strategy as they go inside the 3.5. About 2 lengths away, Thundermaker going past Speedy Bear. Running home early, Humber River 3 wide. Then Last American Exit mid-pack. Gilt Edge is pushed along. Well behind them, Yacht Boy. And catching ground, Perfect Crime. It's been a tug of war up front. And on the outside, Thundermaker's gone to the lead. In second is Bachelor Pack kicking on. And third, Speedy Bear from Humber River. And as they come down the stretch, Yacht Boy is winding up. Out in front, Thundermaker.
I think this 5 might run him down. We'll see. Now he's on the wrong lead. Just switch back.
And here comes Yacht Boy.
Wow, look at far outside.
In the lead, War Strategy. They're getting.
I don't think he's gonna get there though.
I don't think so.
And it's a big strategy. War Strategy wins by 2 lengths to Speedy Bear. In third, Yacht Boy. And back.
Yeah, he made sense on paper off the claim.
For the race, 1:10.14.
Off the claim, 110-1. The 8 wins the race at 12-1. Is that was second longest shot on the board, Andrew, in a completely wide open race right there. Again, we're here to talk about not only Horseshoe and Saratoga. I'm Howard Kravitz along with Andrew Rosinski. Thanks for watching us today on Weekend Warriors. A few quick items, just want to get out of the way. Of course, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. And you can follow us on X at HHH Racing Pod. We also have a fantastic website. Please check that out, hhhracingpodcast.com. Andrew, we are only on YouTube, only streaming on YouTube today. We want to send more people to YouTube. Hopefully people that usually watch us through X will look at our posts and switch over to YouTube to join us there. Of course, we'd love to have plenty of comments in the chat, like from Thomas Spinoza. Good afternoon, everybody. John Kinzerski, let's go Tricky Business. Yeah, John, I need Tricky Business. I need Tricky Business very badly for my pick 5. Paul Patane, you did a great job last week, Andrew, subbing in as a co-host. Hi, guys. Happy Meadowlands Pace Day. Yes, Meadowlands Pace tonight, $800,000 stake race. One of the best 3-year-old races in the country for the harness horses. Sylvain, I'll see you next week, my friend. Very exciting. Sylvain from Montreal. He'll be at Saratoga next week with us. Again, a lot of other people. Sam Birdwater is here. One Way to Rock lyrics. What's up, Sam? How you doing? That finished 8-5-1, by the way, Woodbine. 8-5-1. All right. Let's talk about the next race on our agenda, which is going to be Saratoga. I'm going to switch over and do some quick. Let me take that sound off. Let me go ahead and bring up the Equibase. Of course, Saratoga and Horseshoe Indy I looked at very, very carefully. Let's go right to Saratoga right now, Andrew. This is race 9 at Saratoga. We still have, how much time? Quite a bit, right? Maybe 12 minutes or so?
About 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
8 minutes. All right. This is an allowance New York bred, 105,000. They're coming out of the Wilson chute. You can see the field. It's field of 6. Hey, Toby scratched. The morning line favorite and the current heavy favorite is the number 2 Tricky Business for Weaver and Flavian. This is a horse that did not run great in the prep for the Haskell, but the fact that George Weaver took Tricky Business to that race, Andrew, shows me a lot. I'd love to be creative to start the show today, but most importantly, I want to start our show today with a winner. I love Tricky Business. If he breaks well, it doesn't get into any kind of weird trouble on that little first bend in the chute, I think he's going to be very, very tough. It's not creative, but I do like Tricky Business. I have him singled in my pick 5. If he loses, I'll be out of the pick 5. What say you as I bring up the PPs?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have it singled in the pick 4. I think this one, it just goes through this horse. I like the Lasix getting back on this horse. The Pegasus wasn't a really that bad of an effort, all things considering. Never really broke clean, was kind of in a troubled trip. I think get Pratt back on board, who's already won 3 races on the day. This one probably will be his 4th, or at least we hope. And then, yeah, I mean, as long as the only concern I have is if Dylan Davis sends the 5 and they may be dual. But this one has shown to, not break the cleanest and still kind of, sit forwardly place and make that one run like he did in the debut. So this one could just be the horse to beat here, and well, we can hope that does come true.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the horse to beat. Look, there's 2 horses that are coming out of his debut race that are in here and taking money. Judge Boucher and King Pharaoh. In fact, the last horse also, the horse that finished last in that race, is actually a next out winner. Let me show the buyer there. It was only a 48 buyer, but he handily beat those 2. I'll just go ahead and show the stretch run 2 back of the debut. He was on the outside. Last time he was in the inside. I thought last time was a really good education, to be honest. He didn't break great. Obviously, he was against much better. Baby Vino, I believe, is going to the Haskell. Is that correct, from what I understand?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And that next week. And we see here Tricky Business, who's the 7. Judge, again, this is the debut. This is 2 back. I mean, he just goes right by Judge Boucher relatively easily. King Pharaoh, who's also in this race today, is right here. There is a horse in the race today. I think he's going to have to deal with a little bit in Toscano. But you see, he kept to his task. I mean, he didn't blow this field away, but considering this was his debut, I thought he did it pretty well. And I'm hoping he can get to the outside a little bit because I have a feeling he doesn't love kickback.
Yeah, and well, they had the blinkers as well today, and I think that's going to help the horse focus a little bit more because even breaking slow at Monmouth, I mean, this horse still had a lot of greenness to it. So I think that, the confidence to bring it to Saratoga for a barn like Weaver, you got to have this one, I feel like, on your ticket. So
I think so. For me, the one you got to worry about most is Toscano. He's already a 5-year-old. He's 2 for 13. He's nice. He's honest. He's nothing special. The problem I have in terms of the win end on Toscano is he hasn't really improved. I mean, he ran, mid 70s if you like buyers, although he was doing an open company, it's fair to mention. But then he went to state bred and, he ran an 81. They were trying to get him on the turf. Last time he ran fine off the layoff. He just hasn't run a big number. And I don't know if he's going to improve second on the layoff or not. But to me, this is the other alternative.
Yeah, I agree. I have two different type of bets that I made today, and one was circled around the 2, and the other one was circled around the 4 because I just think that if there's anybody that's going to be able to kind of run down, if there is a pace scenario that's going to sit close enough and not be too much of a deep closer, it's probably going to be the 4. And Gafflin has been riding a little bit better, this week compared to the opening week, and I think that, this one could be a little bit of an upset chance, but at 3-1, I don't think I could justify playing it straight up.
They've got the 5 on top here on the lead. Let's see. I'm trying to remember who that is. That'd be King Pharaoh. Again, I mean, if you want to make the argument that King Pharaoh can wire the field, I'm not going to put up a big complaint about it because he is 7-1. You're getting a price. The problem is 2 back, as we just saw, Tricky Business just rolled right by him. Even if this horse gets the lead, I don't think he's good enough.
Yeah, I agree. I just think this one's a little bit of a step below the other 2 horses, and it should still run all right, but I just don't think it can get the job done.
Sunday Boy, I don't really like at all. This might be a lot of Jose Ortiz money going turf to dirt. He's 1 for 9. He's a 3-year-old. Maybe he can improve. And then you got Judge Boucher on the outside. To me, this is the one that's definitely going to show speed. The only thing I don't like about I wish the 2 was on the outside. If Tricky Business was on the outside, I would just feel a lot better, Andrew. I'd also feel better if it was a flat 1 turn out of a chute instead of that little turn there with the 2. I mean, I can see Pratt sending and maybe getting into a speed duel or maybe get shuffled back. A lot of things can happen. What I do like, though, is in theory, he's quicker than the 1, Andrew. So I hope he outbreaks the 1 and then just reads it. If the 5 and 7 want to go on, fine, let them go on, then just, come around, Yeah. Realistically, to me, the 2 main ways the 2 can lose is either a speed duel or gets checked early. If it's not a speed duel and he doesn't, even if he breaks a little bit slow, I don't think that's going to be that big a deal in this field. I don't anticipate that he will. I don't want him to speed duel, and obviously I don't want a checking. He's now 6-5, which on the tip sheet, I think I said 7-5 would almost be value. I might do something unreasonable here, even though I have him singled. If he drifts up 1 more tick, 7-5, or even 6-5, to me, actually is value. And that's just for me, though, Andrew. I'm not going to speak for other people out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was thinking this horse will be at least sub even money. So yeah, 605 is pretty solid, I would say. But and all things considering, in a 6-horse field.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to add. I guess. Well, we'll see if he wins. I guess the question is, where do you go with him? I don't see. I have like almost no questions about this horse other than the trip. I mean, to me, he's clearly the horse to beat, like by far the horse to beat in here. So we shall see. We've got Kyle backstage. Kyle, how you doing? We got you backstage. We have about a minute to the Saratoga race. So why don't you talk quickly and then we'll bring you back on after the Saratoga race. Go ahead.
Yeah, everyone's in the paddock right now. Everyone looks good. Vote's really put on some weight. I really like how he's looking today. Brad Cox is here. I think that's another thing that needs to be mentioned.
Okay.
He is.
Of course, Kyle's talking about Vote. No, Kyle, we haven't talked about this race yet. Vote knows the one a stake race for Crownsway Racing. Good luck to Crownsway. Kyle has a small piece of this horse. Please continue, Kyle. Go ahead.
You're good. Encino walking past us right now. He looks also really, really nice. Wadsworth, of course, getting saddled by Brad right there in front of us. So everyone looking good. And you'll come back to me, of course, after everyone runs. But everyone's in, and we're getting some respect. It's 7-2 right there, and right in front with Vote No. He
looks good, Kyle. What's your quick thought? We have about 30 seconds here. And we'll talk more about this race. Quick thoughts on the rail and shortening up in distance.
The rail should be no problem. My hope, even though Louis broke from outside last time, my hope is literally to get a carbon copy of In the Stars stalking trip. He's ran on this track before at a mile, even a mile, let alone a mile and 16th. Passed it with flying colors, granted against much easier competition. He's ran well at a mile and 16th before, on both synthetic and on turf. I really think he does well shortening up here as long as he can secure a good position.
All right, terrific. Good. Tell Tony Rollo and the gang good luck from the HHH Racing Podcast. They're reaching the post at Saratoga. We'll come back to you in about 5 or 6 minutes, Kyle, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, thanks a lot, Kyle. All right. Kyle Roscoe live. Let's go to Saratoga. Again, we cannot bring on the video for Saratoga, obviously, Andrew, due to rights through Fox. Let me bring the sound on, however. Make sure. So I've got the sound on, but we won't. Miramati's not saying anything right now. I just want to, again, we always want to double check that. 6-5. I'm tempted, Andrew, but I'm just gonna let the pick 5 speak for itself. If Tricky Business wins and I lose the pick 5, I'm just gonna accept that. I really, my heart says to put a win bet on it, but my head says no. I just, the one good thing about NYRA, Andrew, is the ADWs have been shut off now. I'm sorry, not the ADWs, the CAWs have been shut off now, Andrew, and the price could still go down, but at a place like Saratoga, the lowest it'd probably go down is even money, I would assume.
Yeah, I would agree. If I don't know, if I were you, I would make a little bit of a wager on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like even money's fair value here with this one. And it's the other horses that he faced are taking money, so that should give it a little bit more confidence that they value this one over those. So
I tell you what I'm gonna do, and I do this once in a while. I'm gonna put a win bet on him. I'm gonna put a little saver exacta underneath. So I'm gonna put him in second also in exactas, but not nearly as much as the win bet. Follow. So in fact, I'm gonna go the Sunday boys taking way too much money.
It's post time. They're loading in the gate for the 9th.
We hear that okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I'm just gonna do a little saver exacta bet, but mainly win.
As you chase me.
Good luck, everyone. Race 9 at Saratoga. Let's not get tricky with tricky business. Let's just take care of business. Good luck, everyone, at Saratoga. Race 9 here on the HHH Racing Podcast. A few more horses to load.
Toscano. King Pharaoh is next.
2 more to load. Frank Miramati with the call. Good luck, everyone.
Boy. Judge Boucher, the last one to load. Big numbers. And it was a clean start for Sunday Boy as you chased me along the inside as Flashing Speed 2. Those two hook up with Judge Boucher, a length and a half back in third. That group followed by Tricky Business, King Pharaoh off the pace in fifth, but only 4 lengths off the lead, a gap of 5. Back to Toscano as the field swings on to the backstretch. And it is Sunday Boy with a short lead.
I don't like where he is right now, Andrew.
In 25 seconds
in
flat.
between and it's
So
slow.
it is
It's
Sunday
weird.
Boy leading by chest ahead with Judge Boucher up alongside. Then 3 across the track. Widest of all is King Pharaoh, Tricky Business, As You Chase Me inside of that pair, and a gap of 4. Toscano is at the back of the field. They've gone through a half mile now, and it's still Sunday Boy in front, just leading by a neck. The half went in 48 2/5 seconds around the far turn. Judge Boucher keeping him company throughout. These two are head and head as they come.
Now show your
the quarter
class.
pole.
Come on, you got to
3
get up
lengths
there.
back. King Pharaoh is set down. Tricky Business still very much in the thick of it, fourth, but 3 lengths off the lead. Needs to pick it up now as the field turns for home. Sunday Boy and Judge Boucher. Sunday Boy cuts the corner, leads it a half length. Judge Boucher just keeps on grinding with him. King Pharaoh is in third. They're in the final furlong, and Sunday Boy is in front by a length. Judge Boucher will not surrender. He's 3/4 back, giving it a final try. Sunday Boy just a little too strong. Another for Jose Ortiz on the front end. Sunday Boy by almost 2. Judge Boucher was second. King Pharaoh third. Fourth to As You Chase Me.
We're shaking our head, ladies and gentlemen, because first of all, they didn't show the start. The whole broadcast was jacked up. We got to bring Kyle in, Andrew. The 2 was awful. I mean, I don't know what to say. Just absolutely awful in between horses. Let's bring Kyle back on. Kyle, we need some happy news because Tricky Business was just awful and single my pick 5 at Saratoga. So I'm all about Horseshoe Indy now, my friend. What you got?
I mean, like I said, they're all saddled up now. Everyone, nothing to report. Everyone was calm. But like I said, see Brad Cox is right there, settling. He just settled Encino. Of course, Vote walking past us right now. Said, I don't think I've ever seen him look so filled out and ready to go. Mile 16th, of course, is the question. But Wadsworth looks a little warm. You can see his veins are starting to pop. So he looks a little warm, especially compared to Vote. He also got hosed down a couple times in the paddock for what it's worth. So keep your eyes out. Right now, Wadsworth is your pretty heavy favorite considering he's 2-1 right now. Vote No is your second choice at 4-1, and Encino your third choice at 6. So getting respect for both, a lot of respect for Wadsworth, but also Vote getting a little bit of maybe some of that Indy love considering he won a couple of years ago. But here's Encino, of course. Encino, he's a really big colt.
Yeah.
And both the stature department and looks a little bit on the chubbier side, but I guess that's probably the way he is because he can run on dirt or turf.
I thought you were going to go another.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I thought you were going to go another direction with that, but okay. He's a gelding, isn't he, or no?
I actually don't know the answer to that question.
I thought he was.
He is a gelding.
He is a gelding. So okay, that takes care of. Well, anyway.
This is a family show, Howard. Come on.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, and Andrew, you too. First of all, you can see on the screen, Kyle, perhaps are on the show. We've got the field up here, and we can see the odds on the right side of the screen. Let me just set the stage. The Jonathan Schuster Memorial, 100,000 on the turf, mile 16th. The turf is listed firm, I believe, Kyle, but it's not like super firm like Saratoga is. I'm very surprised with Encino at 6-1.
I agree.
I like this horse, but not at 6-1. That's a big no bueno. I don't know why he's 6-1, Kyle. But as we've talked about on the show many times, people usually know that are in the know, and that I don't know why he's so high. I thought he'd be like co-favorite with Wadsworth here.
I thought he was going to be lower too. I really thought he was going to be those two, and then kind of Vote No, and then kind of everyone else really. The disrespect is truly in, and maybe that's, Ira Ortiz versus Axel Concepcion aboard, but Axel's had some fantastic rides today too, so I wouldn't write Encino off by any means, but definitely worth, a weird one at 6-1 for sure.
Is there anyone in particular that stands out? I know it's pretty warm, it's cloudy, so is there anyone that particularly stands out in a positive or negative way before we take you off screen and throw it back to Andrew for some specific handicapping?
Like I said, obviously you guys know where my lies. I won't hit on him anymore, but he looks phenomenal. I'm really excited to see him run. Like I said, Wadsworth was getting a little warm. They said his veins were popping a little bit. He got hosed down a couple times. But it's kind of cooled off here a little bit. A little humid, but it's cooled off nicely here, especially without the sun. It is a nice temperature. And like you said, the turf is firmer. It's not 100% firm, but I talked to Axel Concepcion after he came back, and he's like, it's basically firm. But they're not getting a whole lot of clods kicked up in their face. But we've seen some closers run on the turf, so looks pretty fair on both surfaces now after they herald the main track. So hopefully you're going to have a safe trip for all and a fair one. Of course, you know my allegiance. I'm going 153 here. Hopefully vote no, I can take a video from the winner's circle for you guys.
That would be awesome. We know Size is usually pretty aggressive. He's ridden him twice. I would assume you'd like to see him a little more forward. I don't know if he's really capable of that. I'm not suggesting he should be on the lead or anything, but I just don't see him winning this race from like 8-10 back, Kyle. I think the quality's too good. I don't know if he's got that kind of wicked turn of foot going this distance. I'd like to see him more mid-pack. Where would you like to see vote no as I bring up his PPs on the screen right now?
I would love to see him mid-pack. I completely agree with you. I think he is capable. He's obviously, when we sent him to the lead in the Sword Dancer, he has that he has that ability to have a little bit of speed into him. But we're going to let him run his race. I would love for basically just a copy-paste ride of like I said, the In the Stars ride from Luis Saez 2 races ago, same exact, mile and 16th on the turf just for the girls. I really would love a copy-paste somewhere in mid-pack. Finishing outside late seems to be the key. Hopefully, like I said, we can get a good one.
All right, well, we will see you hopefully in the winner's circle, but we'll talk to you after this race. Good luck. And I think most importantly, Kyle, and I know you're going to agree with this because I know this horse well, let's just get this horse a clean trip. Like, if he's not good enough, he's not good enough. Let's not have him 20 lanes back, and let's just have him get a clean trip. Easier said than done. There he is right there on screen. Easier said than done, Kyle, because it is a big field that could bunch together. But good luck with vote no. Vote yes on vote no. Take care, Kyle.
Vote yes. Great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Andrew, how do you see this race, my friend? Let's go ahead and bring up the time form projector there on the screen. They've got the 5 on the top. They've got vote no all the way in last. I don't think that's going to work out well if that's where he's going to be personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think this horse is going to be a little bit more forwardly placed than that projector assumes. But yeah, like you guys all hit it on the nose. I said it on the show as well this week because we covered this race on Betting and Boozing, and I vote no is my top pick as well. I just think that the breaking inside can lead to this horse kind of tripping out, and tipping out off the rail out the turn. That was my assumption on the show, and I still stand true to it here. Just like he said, Luis Saez's ride 2 races ago in the other stake race was kind of how I really want this horse to be ridden. And I think this horse can, win if he stays out of trouble. And that's the main key here. Wadsworth was a horse I liked as well, but I didn't like being a little, washed out a little bit. But for those connections, I'm not too worried. Although IRAD and Brad Cox have let me down earlier in the day with Miwa in the 8th race. That was not as fun, but whatever.
And back in that race.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Wadsworth is 3-2.
That's the other problem.
I think he should be favored, but this seems awfully low to me. Look, the Dresden Row race was very good. And what is it? The old crazy, what's the name of her? Old Crazy Bone, or the name? What's the name of
Yeah, horse runs today.
Yeah, old Crazy Bone's coming
Saratoga,
up at Saratoga. We'll get back to the last race.
Yeah.
People are like, wow, Howard's avoiding talking about tricky business race. No, I'm not avoiding it. We'll get to it after this race. He was awful. We already said it. I don't think Wadsworth should be 3-2 here, though, Andrew.
No, and that's I have it in the pick 4, the pick 5. But I don't really, I don't know. I wouldn't play the horse straight up. The one I'm actually kind of worried about that I left off my ticket was the 7 and the 9, because I originally liked the 9 on the show, but I don't know. I left it. The more I looked at it, I feel like this one needs more of a trip that you might not just be able to develop coming from that far back. So I left that one off the ticket, and then the 7 we talked about a little bit, and Brian Argoni really liked this horse as well because of Brandon Walsh, and we were hoping that it was going to keep the double digits odds. And once I saw that this one was taking some money in some of the early pools for the doubles and whatnot, I kind of was like, I don't think it's gonna be big enough price, but 7-1. If you like it, I wouldn't talk you off of it. And then Encino is the only other one that I think has a chance to win here. So I went 1-3-5 in the pick 5, and I really just hope Vote No wins, so we don't have to worry about anything else. Just root for the one horse, and that's it.
Yeah, I went 5-3-1. It's not a strong opinion. Again, I don't love that Encino's not taking the money I thought he'd be taking. I know most people would think that that's a positive. I'm trying to get the horseshoe up on screen here on my other screen. Make sure we're ready for it. So we don't miss it. Okay, whoops.
Nope.
You heard that probably, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's the tricky business situation, and it is tricky because first of all, I don't know what you're watching. I was watching the regular NYRA feed. They didn't show the beginning of the race, and
Yeah.
Miramati also didn't call it right away. Like it was all jacked up. I think he was probably, because of where the chute is at Saratoga there, the Wilson chute, you really can't see it. So I'm sure he was watching their feed, and then they broke, and like you didn't hear anything from Miramati for like 2 seconds. I don't blame him though. So that the reason I bring that up, Andrew, is not to crap on NYRA, although it was not good production work. I don't know if Tricky Business broke slow or what. I mean, he was 3 or 4 back, which is not where I wanted him. I thought it'd be closer. And then he was in between horses. And based on what we saw, he didn't outbreak the one. So he was in between horses, which not the greatest situation, but not awful. When he asked, he just said absolutely nothing. I honestly, I'm shocked. He finished a horrible 4th. I was wrong, except I was correct about Sunday Boy, who I didn't like at all previously because he was taking money. I knew he would be a little more live, but I think the story of that race is Tricky Business just didn't run a step.
Yeah, and no matter how you handicap, it could be 100 different people telling me that they handicapped that race, and I wouldn't say any of them would have been like, oh, the 6 is going to be loose on the lead on that form. I mean, the horse has never shown that, but I guess Jose Ortiz is just, how good he's riding right now, and he realized the 2 didn't break sharp, and the 5 didn't really break too sharp.
No.
And he just sent, and that's what helped him outlast the 7, because I think the 7 looked like he was going to have a ton of horse and go by, and just kind of stuttered there and just stayed, hung a little bit, but the 6 just had more. And
yeah,
I
think the 6 was on the outside. I think the 7 actually had the lead, Andrew, and the 6.
But still more forwardly placed than even on paper. But I mean, that's what won the 6 to race. I think is just being that forwardly placed and outlasting the horses that didn't want to close.
That was a bit of a surprising result, and it was an awful result for me. I was ready to play the horn and play the rock music, and okay, whatever. So I'm out of Saratoga. It's the way it goes. I'm still playing Horseshoe Indy. I used a ton of horse in this race. And what's amazing, and I have a lot of respect for people like yourself and Brian Aragoni, I used like 8 horses in this race. I have the 7 nowhere. Now, I could be very wrong. I don't really like the 7 here at all. He is 8-1. I won't say he can't win. I used I didn't use the 4 and 7, so I probably should just right now put big win bets on the 4 and 7, especially the 7. I just didn't think he was good enough, but I think this is a very trip-dependent race, I believe, Andrew, here at Horseshoe Indy coming up. If Wadsworth gets the trip or Encino gets the trip, I think they're likely winners. But there's no guarantee either one of them are going to get the trip, as they are still walking around the gate, ladies and gentlemen. If it's not Wadsworth, it could be a lot of horses, because after Wadsworth, the next lowest price is Encino has now dropped down to 9-2, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a little bit more favorable. That's taking a little bit of late money, but I don't know. I still wish it was getting played a little bit more heavily than that.
I'm looking at the doubles. What is this? The $2 double to Wadsworth is 23, and then Encino it's 37. So this should, it's tightening up. Right now, Encino's 4-1, and then Vote No is next. I'd love to see Vote No win for Kyle. I know he's been very frustrated with this horse lately. It was an unbelievable claim for them last year. I'm not sure the horse really owes Crownsway any favors, but he has been struggling. And as you know, someone who's involved in the game, I mean, you keep running a horse, they're not in the top 2 or 3, they start costing you money with training fees and whatnot. So I'm sure Kyle would love to see an in the money finish here, or of course, better yet, a win, as I see 5-1 on Vote No, 4-1 Encino, 7-5 on the favorite Wadsworth. And there's some big prices. Like, I don't think Baby Max is out of the mix at 14-1 to 10. Higgins Boat is capable of running big races, although I'm a bit frustrated with him lately. So they are walking to the gate. We're also going to go to Woodbine right after this race, Andrew, which is the last race. I think we'll be able to cover it. How much time we got to Woodbine? I have a few minutes, but I don't know if they're on time. Yeah, 2 minutes. It looks like, of course, we might have a little bit of overlap, but they are going to the gate. So right out of this race, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to Woodbine, and then I'm sure we'll bring on Kyle Roscoe. Good luck at Horseshoe Indy. It's race 10, the race before the two big ones, the Oaks and the
Coming
Derby.
Up, blue and the gold diamonds, gold cap.
We hear John G. Andrew?
Went in well.
All right.
Ortiz with Wadsworth.
John G. Dooley, our good friend from good old Arlington.
Chief, Junior Alvarado.
Does a great job.
With a couple of handicap wins on the card.
Mile 16th.
Evan Roman with noises off.
Good luck, everyone, at Horseshoe Indy. Race 10.
Mario Gutierrez with Balnikov. Axel Concepcion and Sino, like Wadsworth, both for Brad Cox. The Royal Blue of Godolphin. Comes Encino. The mile and a 16th course here firm. One more. Adam Eskitsa with Baby Max. Wadsworth, 3-2 favorite. Course firm. This field with 49 wins between them. 12-1 on Baby Max. Course was upgraded from good to firm here on Indiana Derby Day, and Baby Max to make up the 10.
It's always the outside horse, Andrew, doesn't want to go in. It's just absolutely amazing.
2-1 favorites.
Here we go. Never fails.
They're in the gate. And they're off for the Jonathan B. Schuster Memorial. Encino toward the inside. Judge Davis is also vying for the early lead, but it's Encino who leads out for Axel Concepcion. Judge Davis toward the inside, and the Gray Seminole Chief is right up there with Encino as they make their way toward the first turn. Higgins Boat is running in fourth. Clever Mischief in fifth as they make their way into the first turn. Vote No is next in sixth. Baby Max in seventh. Wadsworth is a settled eighth.
Vote No is mid-pack, Andrew. I think Kyle's happy right now.
Yeah,
that's where I wanted him to be.
And Encino.
He's in a great spot.
With Axel Concepcion.
Wadsworth is following him.
22.66 seconds. Encino charts the course for the run to the half-mile pole, nice and easily out in front of Seminole Chief, who follows the leader there for Junior Alvarado. Toward the inside is Judge Davis, right there, staying planted to the rail, running in third. Higgins Boat in fourth, Clever Mischief in fifth, Vote No is sixth. Baymax in seventh. And then comes Wadsworth, who's in eighth position, and toward the inside for Ira Ortiz. Wadsworth in behind horses as they enter the far turn, 7 lengths off of Encino as they go to the far side of the Caesars course.
Oh, no, it's got checked
Further
again.
back to Noises Off, and finally the Irish bred Balnikov has trailed. They round the far turn, half mile, 47.09 seconds, 3/4 a tick over 1:11. They come past the quarter pole, and they've closed ranks on Encino. Seminole Chief is right there. Clever Mischief with Higgins both, and Wadsworth, the other in the Godolphin blue, is moving up toward the inside as Seminole Chief runs at Encino. They're going nose to nose for the final half furlong, and then on the outside is Baby Max, who's showing up at the finish. It's another for Junior Alvarado. Seminole Chief over Baby Max in a driving finish. Wadsworth joined at the line. Then Encino with Vote No, and Clever Mischief was right there too.
Wow, they clumped together. How about Junior Alvarado on Seminole Chief? This is a horse that I chased. I can't tell you how many times when he was at Gulfstream. I used him only because he's sort of a little pet of mine. 14-1, just set off Encino, Andrew, and held off the closers. Wadsworth had a little bit of trouble. Vote No was closing like a train on the outside, but had a little trouble on the turn. 8, 10, 3. I mentioned the 10 who got a good ride also. 14-1 on Seminole Chief. This is the fourth longest shot on the board. This is going to blow up the pick 5, Andrew.
Yeah, it knocks me out. Maybe I'll get a 4 out of 5. Who knows?
Sorry, man.
All good.
I didn't love this horse. Let me be very clear. I just thought it was a wide open race. Vote No was in a great spot, Andrew, and then he checked a little bit. I'm not really sure what happened because I thought he was okay. He did regather. Wadsworth tried to come up the inside. It just was a little bit crowded and tight there. Encino ran very well, actually. He just got tired. It was a pretty relatively hot pace. It's just one of those races that was wide open, and Seminole Chief for Junior, who won earlier today, I believe, on Ben Duke. Let me go ahead and show. I'm sure Kyle's not going to be happy. I think Vono finished, was it fourth?
Fourth or fifth. Yeah, it was
On
like
the outside.
yeah.
He's just goofy, man. He's always running into trouble. I don't know what to say. He finished fifth. I know Kyle's gonna be very frustrated. You know, maybe if he had an outside post, maybe he wouldn't have gotten checked, but it's a big field. It came 8, 10, 3, 5. Let me go ahead and show the PPs very quickly on the winner. Not an easy winner to have. Again, I only had it in my pick 5, frankly, because I thought it was a wide open race. This was a horse that was 20-1 morning line. When you go back, he had some big numbers. This is when I sort of started falling in love with him right here in these races back in last year in March, where he won the Appleton. He was a real nice horse. He went to the grade 1 for God's sakes. And then he sort of went off form. Joe Sharp off the claim, man, is just, he doesn't look like he necessarily fits, but he had a good work since. I love Junior, and I love Joe Sharp, who obviously was able to turn his form around. Not an easy horse to have at all.
Yeah, it was not on my radar.
No, I totally get it. What do you make of the run by Wadsworth? He saved ground. It looked like I don't really blame Irad. It just got tight, and he just never looked overly comfortable in the stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird race. The two horses that were really forwardly placed the whole way around still hung on, even though they sent really hard. Encino was, that's a really fast first quarter, and he's still there at the end. So I guess the track's pretty fair. I'm not going to complain about it, but Wadsworth had no real excuse. He sat the trip. Same with Vote No. They just couldn't pick it up late, and they still ran on for good performances, but just couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you and a lot of other people that I'm sure are knocked out. Woodbine, they just ran the race. Sorry, we can't. Well, we'll bring up the video. The 5 just won at Woodbine. Sorry, the timing there was awful, everyone. It came another price, 5, 8, 3, 10. I'm sure you were about to say you love the 5, Andrew, but of course we had to talk about the Indiana race real quick, and they're running on top of each other, of course. But the 5 won at Woodbine. I'm not familiar with that jockey, by the way, at all. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it seems like he's new to the circuit this year. I think he might be an apprentice. I'm not sure though.
You can look that up while we do
Yeah,
that. I'm looking at the doubles there at Horseshoe Indy. That was the second longest double, even though he wasn't the second longest price, but he was 21 morning line. That double for 2 is 156.
Debutante.
Let me take off the sound here. Sorry.
Visually.
Yeah, he's a 5-pound apprentice. 5-pound.
Okay. Wow, good for him. Andrew, we have a few people on our in our family. I won't say who. I don't think you're one of them, but if you are, that's perfectly fine. Who seem to think Junior only wins with mod horses?
I'm the one.
He just won with a Joe Sharp horse. I know that we're friends. Myself and Paul are sort of friends with him, more Paul than me, but I've met him. Pat has met him. He's not only is a great person, he's an excellent jockey on turf, especially. I think he's almost still underrated. The guy is a really, really good rider. I know people think, well, it's just because of sovereignty and blah, blah, blah. Just watch day in and day out, Andrew. I'll speak for myself, not just because he won. I would have said it 5 minutes ago. I think he's a really damn good rider, especially on turf.
Yeah, he holds his own no matter where he goes. I mean, he had a little bit of cold spell because Mott was also cold, and he rides first call for Mott. So,
fair. But
no, I mean, he rode the hell out of Ben Duke earlier, and then that was a very good time trip there for Joe Sharp as well. So, he's riding his behind off today. So, give him props today. So.
All right, let's go to race 10. Again, this is Howard Kravitz on Andrew Brzezinski, Weekend Warriors. Thanks for watching episode 41. We're now going to be alternating between Saratoga and Horseshoe Indy. Of course, Horseshoe Indy's got their 2 big races, and this is the big race at Saratoga. It's the Bowling Green. Let me go ahead and bring up, there's 9 minutes to post. I'm looking at the board right now. I'm actually a little surprised by what I see, and I'll need to explain why I say that. Here's the Bowling Green field. It's a grade 2. They're going a long distance of 1 mile and 3/8 on the turf. It's a small field of 6. The morning line favorite was the Euro Fort George. He is actually the 3rd choice right now in the betting, Andrew, at 3-1. Meanwhile, Old Crazy Bone, who is a horse we just talked about, is the favorite. Let me go ahead. Before we do that, we got Kyle on now in the background. So we'll go back to the Bowling Green information. Let's bring Kyle on. Kyle, before you start talking, I turned to Andrew. I said, I know Kyle's going to be frustrated. I love where Vote No was during the race. I don't know why he checked. I just have a feeling he just needs everything to go his way. He's just, I don't know what's going on with him. No one really came over. I'll have to watch it a few times, but he did regather and came wide. He ran perfectly fine. He just seems to always find trouble these days, my friend.
I mean, it's Lewis talking to Louis. Judge Davis backed right into him. He was talking about it. The
All
2
right.
was backing up, and Louis is like, I'm sorry. I had nowhere, there's nothing he can do about it. I swear to God, the day of this horse, I will make $1 million on this horse when he does not get a horse that backs into him or slant. I mean, racing's racing, right? There's nothing you can do about it. I loved where he was too, Howard. I couldn't be happier with the trip that was given. And unfortunately, Judge Davis backed up at the 3/4 of a mile or the half-mile pole, and just unfortunate. But either way, we'll move on. It's time, contest go time for me too. So I'm probably sitting about 10th right now. So I will, I'm going to get
You
started
have to be in the top 4. Is that right, Kyle, to go to the NHC?
That's correct. Yep. That's correct.
Okay. Real quick, I know this is bitter for you because you wouldn't need to vote no. I just mentioned it. I know you're not one of these people, Kyle, but there's a few people within our family that feel like Junior's a little overrated because he's always winning with mod horses. You and I have seen him. Well, you're a little young to remember him too much at Arlington, maybe not. I don't know. But the guy can absolutely ride, especially on turf. And to have him just had a perfect trip off of Encino, who, by the way, ran very well. What an unbelievable ride. I'm not saying I loved him, but I did use him, by the way, Kyle, in the pick 5. I spread a lot, only because it was a sharp claim, literally, and Junior. I do need prom queen, though, my friend. Otherwise, I'm out of the pick 5.
Well, trust me, I'll live and die with that one as well. So I'm right with you. So hopefully we can continue on. But yeah, tough luck. Nothing I can do about it. I'm not bitter at all. It's like, stuff happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But I tell you what, the one time that guy gets a clean trip, he will win. I think the mile and the 16th, Louis was talking about it. He said the trip is perfectly fine. He quickens up nice enough to run these routes. Just unlucky, and you move on. Also, by the way, best bet of the day. I know you guys are going to go to Saratoga next. I love Minaret Station in this next race.
All right. Well, I was just going to ask you about that. So does Paul Patane, likes Minaret Station. By the way, your audio and video is great now. I don't know if you changed something, but actually it looks really clear now. So whatever happened just happened. Real quick before we let you go, we'll go to the Saratoga race. What's the plan with Vote No? What would you do? Any idea where he's going next? You keep him the same distance? Just bad luck after bad luck? What's the story? What story of Vote No going forward in your either factually or in your opinion?
Both in my opinion, probably factually. Obviously I can't speak for Tony Rollo, but I think this mile and 16th, mile and 8th is probably exactly where he wants to be at this point of his career. You saw him and sitting in the hole. He actually gained momentum really nicely. Still, and then you said tipped outside, still ended up finishing a little bit. So think about that. Tony's like the list stakes like this is probably exactly also where he wants to be. Maybe grade 3 if there's a nice, a soft mile and 8, something like that. But either way, I think that it's probably where he's going to fit for the time being. But
tell Tony I've not looked at the book, but find a race similar to that at Ellis. That's my suggestion. Okay, there you go.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's plenty of those. So
all right, Kyle, we'll get back to you. 2 big races coming up in Indiana. We got the big run at Saratoga. Take care. We'll see you a little bit.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, bye. All right, here's Old Crazy Bone. Andrew coming off second off the layoff for Maker. Ran really well against Dresden Rose, a very nice horse. He is the speed of the speed. I think Pratt should absolutely send here. I know he has to send hard. There's no reason why this one won't have the lead unless the Euro, who has shown some speed in the past, but that's Euro speed, decides to send. But I believe Old Crazy Bone is the horse to beat and should be on the lead here.
Yeah, I'm more in the Minaret Station camp here, but
Okay.
yeah, the one should be the one that's on the lead. I don't disagree there. I'm actually totally against the Euro horse here.
Okay.
My buddies that are at the racetrack right now said that he's very washed out, very hot, very
Really?
like annoyed. And I think that's another reason why this horse is not taking any money that he should have take, because it's definitely the class of the field. So,
By the way,
yeah.
got the Yeti, the HHH Yeti, sporting it today. Well,
Yeah,
the fact that he's 3-1. Look, Andrew, we talked about him on the show. He's lost to Rebels Romance and Ombudsman in his last two. However, I don't think that's the best Rebels Romance we've seen. I know he won again recently, but he's not quite as good as he used to be. And the Ombudsman race, he had no chance in that race. The fact that he's 3-1 to me is a major negative. I mean, he could have been 8-5 in this spot. I was trying to beat him anyway. Now I'm for sure going to try to beat him. Minaret Station is a horse that's been on our tip sheet, Andrew, the last few times he's run. I love this horse. I know he's got to get the distance, and we don't know. And 2-1 is too low. In fact, I'm not going to bet this race at all. I'm just going to watch. But I really like this horse, and I think distance is going to be just fine. If there's anyone that could figure out, it's Jose. And nothing against Torres, but this is a major jockey upgrade too.
Yeah, that and not just that, but the Walden barn being so, on fire as he usually is, to point him to this spot, and then the distance I think is actually pretty key here. I think this one wants to just keep running for days, and definitely has that, takes a little bit to get going, but once it gets going, it starts to really move. And I just think that this one, this is a good spot. It's a short field and doesn't have to be too far back.
That's the thing. I pride myself, Andrew, as I go full screen here. I pride myself on the visuals a lot. Minaret Station doesn't feel like to me a horse that'll be best at a mile 16th. He doesn't really quicken, Andrew. Like, he's not a plotter, but he's not someone that has like that wicked, like 11 and change, like final eighth in him. I think he's gonna be actually closer than people think in this race. I think Jose puts him a few lengths off of the one at the most. And if he gets the distance, I actually can make the argument he's the most talented horse in the field. I just don't know if he's going to be good enough on the day. 2-1 is almost high enough for me to find out, but I think I'm just going to sit this one out. I do like Minaret Station, the horse, a lot. I'm a little worried that the one's going to be just better than him today, but we'll see. It's going to be a fun race here coming up.
Yeah, I agree. I just played a little small double going in the last race, single in the 6 here, so just to have something going. But yeah, I would have been alive to the 1-6 here if the 2 would have showed up last race. But we move on. We move on.
I would have been live to all. I would have been live to all 3 of them, which I wasn't planning on doing before I put together my ticket, but because I wanted to spread earlier and go very thin late, by singling the 2 actually allowed me to do that. Right now, I see 3-2 on Old Crazy Bone, and then I see 5-2 on the Euro for George. Okay, so let's not forget that Euro did win last week in the Oaks, going wire to wire. So Kieran Schumacher, by the way, people don't know, is an excellent jockey overseas. Ed Walker's a really good trainer. You really have to get familiar with some of these trainers and jockeys that are less well known here in the States. If this 4 was Appleby, he'd be 6-5. I mean, he shouldn't be, but he would be.
I will say it is a good sign that Schumacher came over here for this, because it was a big day at multiple racetracks over in England today. It was the July Cup at Newmarket. Ascot had a ton of big races, all a bunch of $100,000+ races out there. So Chester had some big races. I was watching some of that earlier today. So to him to come out here for this one mount probably is a good confidence boost if you like the horse.
Good luck, Coach Jimmy J. I think he was talking about Encino, actually, the 5. By the way, how does your mom have Seminole Chief and you don't? What happened there?
She came over here, she opened the door and started bragging about it too. So.
Oh, jeez. I'm sure that made you feel much better.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a...
Don't rub it in, Mom. Your son already feels bad enough, man. He just got knocked out of
She always does better than me,
All right, who do you like in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Anderock he's going 4-1. Carson's run we didn't talk about. It's a West Point horse who's training very well. This is a major step up to me, but he's capable of running a big race. He's the 5 in this race for Miguel. I always love to see Miguel win. Let's see here. Paul wants to know if we like the drone view. It makes you remember the horse's silk colors used in on camera. I like the drone view for replays, but not during the race, in my opinion, at all.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's cool to watch, but as long as they don't overdo it,
All right, I'm gonna go 164. I don't have a strong opinion. I'm not betting this race at all.
It's post time.
I'd sort of like to see Minera Station win because I've been chasing him last 2 times. I would assume we're going to see some of these horses in the Sword Dancer renamed the Christophe Clement next month, Andrew, right?
I would assume so. I mean, I feel like that's probably the goal with some of these horses. So,
all right, we got a few left to load. Good luck to everyone in race 10, the Bowling Green, grade 2. Frank Mirmati with the call. Good luck, everyone.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Bowling Green, presented by Emerald Ecovations. An old Crazy Bone leaves no doubt about his tactics, bouncing right out on top. And on the outside, here's an immediate challenge from Fort George. So those two hook up right away. A gap of 5 already to Soleil Volant in 3rd. Desvio is 4th, Minaret Station, and Carson's Run as expected at the back of the field. Into the stretch for the first time, Flavian Pratt has Old Crazy Bone, the favorite, galloping along with a 2-length advantage. Fort George backs off. 3 more lengths.
The three favorites, Andrew, are comfortable. What say you right now, real quick?
Side by
I like that the 4 pressed a little bit there, but
Station
we'll see how the 6 trips out here, and the one's getting pretty.
I think you're fine. I love where Minera Station is. If he's good enough, he wins.
Bias through a quarter that went in 24 and 3/5 seconds. Oh, Crazy Bone into the Saratoga.
Pretty slow, to be honest, the way this turf is playing.
Has a lead of almost 3 lengths now on Fort George, who's been second since the gate opened. Soleil Volant and Desvio, 3rd and 4th, swinging on to the backstretch. Minaret Station, Carson's Run, half and 49 and 2. Oh, Crazy Bone in hand over Fort George, who comes back at him. He's tugging a touches. Fort George wants to put a little pressure on the favorite now, coming to the half-mile pole. Soleil Volant has maintained that 3rd spot. Desvio is next. Then comes Minaret Station. Jose Ortiz wanting a bit more from him, coming through along the inside, through 3/4 in 1:15 and 1. Carson's Run at the back. It's a compact group. Oh, Crazy Bone. Fort George is going to test him right now. And these two are sprinting for home. The mile went in 1:39 and 4/5 seconds. And Fort George puts his head in front and sets sail for home at the top of the stretch. Oh, Crazy Bone comes right back, though. Oh, Crazy Bone. Fort George giving it everything he has. But on the inside, it's Old Crazy Bone digging in tenaciously. Fort George is a length back second, trying so hard, and a late run from Minaret Station. It's going to be Crazy Bone leading them virtually all the way. Fort George fired so hard, and Minaret Station in the Bowling Green.
1-4-6 in a thrilling rendition of the Bowling Green. It looked like, I like what Kieran Schumacher did on the turn there, Andrew. Really put the pressure on Old Crazy Bone. But Old Crazy Bone showed a ton of class here and fought back. Minaret Station, maybe he didn't find room earlier enough there on the turn, Andrew, because he came on late. My gut tells me he was a bit of a clunk up 3rd. I don't want to be disrespectful, but wow, actually, the Fort George got a great bob, but he did not get there. It's going to be 1-4-6, my friend. Your thoughts in a very exciting Bowling Green?
Pratt almost threw the race there, so he stood up like 2-3 strides before the wire, and he almost got nailed. Yeah. If he didn't ride the last pump, he would have probably lost the bob.
Really?
Yeah. Another stride, the 6 and the 4 go by. If you watch, like probably about 70 yards out, he just stands up on the horse. If you're watching the live feed right now. He eases right there, and then he gets almost.
You know what?
like I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
To do that is pretty crazy.
Right.
You're right. He didn't stand up. We've seen a hell of a lot worse, but he did.
He stopped riding for at least 3
He stopped
strides.
riding just a little. That's just a little bit. That's what Mario saying in the chat. While props. I mean, we've seen a lot worse than that. Like he didn't stand up. He didn't like ease off the horse, but he did. He did stop riding a little bit and then realized, oh, wait a minute, this 4 is re-rallying. I guess I don't know how to phrase it. A little unusually arrogant ride by Flavien at the end there. I think it'd be fair.
Yeah, and now I know. Look, I know Paco gets his disagreements, but that screamed like a Paco finish, like this one overly confident, and then stands up and whatnot. Not stands up, but like stop pumping. Rides one of those ones, but not a typical Pratt finish. But he got to the wire first, and I guess that's all that matters.
I use the Euro on the main ticket. I toss them in all my other ones. I'm looking at my, what's crazy, Andrew, is my backup ticket was 1 and 6. The problem is I wouldn't have had the 9 in the turf sprint in leg 2 and Sunday Boy in the same ticket in this pick 5. Like that never would have happened. So
yeah,
I'm a little frustrated by that. But Old Crazy One with a really nice effort. Flavien Pratt. They went slow early. I would love to see Fort George stay in this country. I don't know if the plan is that. I would find it weird they just came over for a Group 2, Andrew, and now he's going to go back. He's not good enough to win group races in Europe in general. So I'd like to see him stay here. A lot of these Euros like to be covered up. He was uncovered. You said he didn't look great in the paddock. Really big effort by Fort George.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the Fort George ran the winning race. And just didn't get the bob. I mean, he was there the whole way through and pressured when he needed to, and tripped out and held off the 6. But I still think if the 6 gets out earlier, 6 probably goes by. It's the type of horse that doesn't want to be inside horses. And once he tipped out and got going, like I said, once he gets going, it takes a while to get to that point. But once it gets to that point, the turn of foot's amazing. So it was all about timing and just couldn't get there in time. But we move on. Now we go to the Indiana Oaks, and hopefully I'm against Prom Queen, and I know you're on Prom Queen. So
I know this is not good. Well, we got 7 minutes. Real quick, did Jose wait too late on Mirror Station?
I don't think so.
Or the Mirror Station just wasn't good enough, or both?
I don't even think it was either of that. I just think that it's this type of run style that the horse runs with. He just needs a lot to get going, and if he doesn't get going early enough, he just doesn't get there. And, I think he just came up short. That's all it really was. Just ran
the problem is he was in behind 2 horses, and the C's didn't part. Like, if one of them backed up and he could have come around, or if the inside, like if he was, I don't know. I think he should have moved a little sooner, personally, but the horse ran a good race. I mean, real good race. So I'm curious to see what they do with Minter Station going.
I know
the million is
not the issue.
When's the million? Is that coming up too quick? Is that at Colonial? Is that in August, or is that in late July?
I feel like it's in August. I feel like it's sometime in like early to mid-August.
Can people put in the chat, when is the million race at Colonial? If someone can look that up, or Andrew, maybe we can look that up also. We got 6 minutes to post to the race at Horseshoe Indy. I'm sure we'll get Kyle to talk about this race in just a minute. This is a very important race for me, because I am alive in the late pick 5, which is absolutely going to pay very nicely now. I think we all agree it's pretty much a 2-horse race, Andrew. It's $200,000, mile 16th for the 3-year-old fillies. A 2-horse race, most likely between number 4, Betty's Pearl, who ran completely off the screen last time in a freaky race, and Prom Queen, who's faced really tough horses right now. Prom Queen 4-5, Betty's Pearl 8-5. You and I see this race differently. I will not come on here and say like I'm super, super, super confident. I just feel like that last race was not Prom Queen's best effort. I don't think she wants to be on the inside. She gets a very comfortable trip. She has no excuses. She's by far faced the best horses. She gets IRAD. I know that Brian Aragoni on the show made a point that maybe this is like an afterthought, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it is, but to me, this is clearly the horse to beat, unless Betty's Pearl is just a completely new animal, and she might be, and I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I've been a Prom Queen fan since the maiden special weight victory at Gulfstream. Was my pick in the Gulfstream Oaks, or was one of my picks in the Gulfstream Oaks. And then it was my pick in the Kentucky Oaks and in the Acorn. And it's just burning too much of my money right now to bet at 4 to 5. So this is the race I'm going to be hopping off of the Prom Queen train. But you know how usually that goes is when the first race you hop off a horse that you've been backing for weeks, it probably is the one that's going to win. But I'm a big fan of Betty's Pearl. I think Betty's Pearl has turned a new leaf. They had this horse sitting a little closer than normal. And I just think that this one in a field of this short should be the one that sits the trip. And hopefully Brian Lynch can, win with this one again. It would have been my single in the pick 5. So this was the race I liked the most.
Other than just saying horse racing is horse racing and things happen, can you point to anything in particular, not knowing the horse in detail, as to where this number came from? And is she just like, what do you think happened in this race or what's happening with this horse that all of a sudden she popped a big number?
Well, she early on in the career, she they had her move a little earlier than the last 2 races, and it sometimes she tripped out and she got there and she held on, and sometimes she would just get tired late and not fire. But the last time out, they had her come from the clouds, and even the race 2 back, they had her come from the clouds, and she just missed 2 back, and then she wins last time. I just think that now if she knows that she likes to have something to run at, and I think that Brian Lynch is like, hey, if we keep running this way, this horse the sky's the limit. And I think that's why they put it in this spot to test the stakes race with a new tactic. And if it works out, probably see this horse somewhere, maybe Saratoga or something like that in the summer.
What's weird, Andrew, is she beat 2 really good horses. Soaring High just came back and won with the 88. Mashallah just completely freaked. However, neither one of those horses ran a step when Betty's Pearl beat them. So I don't know how to feel about it. Like, she beat 2 really good horses, Andrew, but those horses all didn't run very well in those races. I think you make a good point. I think Lynch has figured out to take her back and let her make one run. I also like the fact that she's been rested up more, ideally for this spot. So I'm very worried about the 4 beating me. The 4 just might be better than the 5 right now. However, there doesn't seem to be a lot of speed in this race, and I think the 5 is going to get the jump, I would predict. Let's go look at the time form, as we got a few minutes to post here. They've got, the 5. Actually, they got the 4 in front of the 5. I'm not sure I agree that it's going to play out that way. We'll see. From my perspective, I like the fact that the 5 breaks outside of the 4. But let me tell you something. I'm very worried. I really wish I had the 4 and the 5. I'm probably going to do a little saver win bet on the 4. And I think that's a justified decision for me, Andrew, because this pick 5 is going to pay, if I get lucky, it's going to pay 4 digits. So putting a saver bet on the 4 to me is not the worst idea on a win end.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the 2 is probably going to go pressure the 3 here. We talked about that on the show. We're like, who's going to go with the 3, and we said that the 2 probably be the one that's a little bit more forwardly placed. And Prom Queen's been shown to have some speed as well, back in those Gulfstream races. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 5 goes. And that's why I just think that the 4 might trip out, because I think there might just be a sneaky pace pressure here early on. And I don't think the 3 can hold for the distance. So if somebody pressures the 3, it should be a pace collapse. But it might work out for Prom Queen just as much as it works out for Betty's Pearl.
Yeah, the 3 is going to go. The 2 will be mid-pack. I think the 5 is just going to sit outside the 3. The 4 is going to sit out, just let those 2 go. And the 4 can absolutely win this race, no doubt about it. We don't have Kyle on screen right now. You have the Colonial race is August 1st. So that's back too quickly, I would assume, for the horses that we just saw run. So I appreciate that. That's 3 weeks. So we'll see. We've got 1 minute to post. Whoops, I can't do that. We got 1 minute to post here in the Oaks. Appreciate everyone watching and listening. Howard Kravitz, Andrew Rosinski, HHH Racing Podcast. Really appreciate it. Let's see if we got anything quick I want to bring up here, as they're not behind the gate quite yet. Yes, Del Mar only tip sheets, ladies and gentlemen. They're now available. They're available until next Wednesday. That's it. Go to our website for more information, hhhracingpodcast.com. All you have to do is go to our website and bring it on the screen right now. hhhracingpodcast.com. Click on the Power Pick tip sheets and then click down to Del Mar only. You can find out all about it. Very inexpensive, very profitable. Noah Maher writes them. Again, the deadline is next Wednesday, July 15th. I don't know about you, Andrew. I love Del Mar. I like Saratoga more, but I really much enjoy Del Mar. That opens up next Friday, my friend.
Yeah, I'm excited. Delmar is my favorite West Coast meet, so
Right.
I'm very, very happy that Delmar is back. Gives me something to watch and handicap before I have to go into work at nighttime. So it's good,
Yep.
good sign, good quality racing. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it to be back.
So I did a Sabre win bet on the 4, like nothing crazy. It's not gonna, if the 4 wins, it's not gonna pay for what my pick 5 would pay. Otherwise, I'd have to put 500 to win the 4. I'm sure as all not gonna do that. I know Kyle needs this race for the NHC. I think he needs the 5. I don't know if he's going 4 and 5. The odds are starting to, come a little bit closer. 9-5, 4-5. The more I think about it, Kyle or Andrew, honestly, I think it should be more like 8-5, 6-5. I don't think Prom Queen should be sub even money in this field. It does make me feel good, but I think those are too low. I think that's an underlay right there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's getting bet down a little bit too much, but I mean, it has class. So, yeah, no, I was thinking 3 was going to get bet down a little bit more than normal, or than it's taking right now. But I guess the public really sees this as a 2-horse field.
I think it's also fair to question whether Betty's Pro wants 2 turns. I'm not saying she can't get the distance. I'm just simply saying that monster race was 1 turn and, it fell apart a little bit. But I'm not poo-pooing your pick. Betty's Pro can absolutely win this race. I need Prom Queen very badly. Otherwise, I'm out of everything. I'll have to rely on my Meadowlands pace that's tonight at the Meadowlands, which is actually starting in about 40 minutes. All right, we're not going to have Kyle Moore for this race. I know he's going to come back for the Indiana Derby. I guarantee you, Andrew, he's got a beverage in his hand, sulking over vote no. He's too professional to come on screen and use language, but I know he's frustrated. Andrew, they're about to go to the post. Let me bring on the sound. And John G. Dooley. All right, we got the sound on. Again, of course, we can't show the video, ladies and gentlemen, but go to, actually, I don't think it's on Fox. I think it's on FanDuel. I'm not sure which one it's on today. 2-1, 4-5. I'll tell you what, you like Betty's Pearl, you think it's a 2-horse race. I don't understand the 1 and 5-1, by the way, and it's ridiculous. To me, it should be 8-5, 6-5, and everything else should be like 10-1 or higher, but actually, based on pure math, it can't, Andrew. So someone's got to be third choice. Or maybe these 2 horses should be like 3-5, 4-5, maybe.
I was thinking more it was going to be the 3 being bet down and the 1 and the 2 being both double-digit odds, but I think the 3 not getting bet is kind of evened out the 3 other horses. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to I guess not bet a Shadwell Brad Cox horse, right? Which is the 2. So I mean, I mean, especially why is it in the spot with Prom Queen? That's another question. It's like, if you have for Brad Cox, like why put a horse that just broke its maiden in the same race as Prom Queen?
It is now post time.
Hear the sound okay?
Indiana Oaks.
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome, star actress.
All right. Good luck to everyone. Well, Andrew, I'd assume one of us is going to be right here. I mean, if the 4 or 5 don't win, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
Good luck, everyone. In the Indiana Oaks. John G. Dooley with the call from Horseshoe Indy live on the HHH Racing Podcast.
Mario Gutierrez with Betty's Pearl. The Milan 16th and 1 more. Ira Ortiz with Prom Queen. Now 4-5. Prom Queen like Nava. Both for Brad Cox here in the grade 3. Fast track at Horseshoe Indianapolis.
Prom Queen is acting a little naughty.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Indiana Oaks of 2026. Maximum offer away well. Now toward the inside, and here's Prom Queen.
Set up exactly how we thought it would be,
outside
Andrew.
of Maximum Offer as they make their way into the first turn. Betty's Pearl and Star Actress has dropped back to last with 7 furlongs to run, and it's Maximum Offer that's taken the early lead for Luis Saez in front of Prom Queen. Toward the inside is Nala. Royal Blue with the white epaulets.
Looks pretty slow to me.
Go to the back of the track. Betty's Pearl and
very slow.
Star Actress. 5 lengths from top to tail, and it's Maximum Offer.
Yeah, but 4's not too far back, so we're both in good spots.
24.7.
This whole race depends on
That's
how
the
much the
slowest
3 is
ever
going to
in
make
the
the
Indiana
5 work on the
Oaks.
turn, right,
Maximum
Andrew?
Offer slows them up. Howard Ortiz and Prom Queen staying close to the pace, and there's not much early pace on Maximum Offer, who dictates her own terms, going past the
Wow,
half-mile
almost
pole
49.
with Nala
Oof.
running in third. And on the outside is Betty's Pearl, and the Star Actress remains last. It's Maximum Offer, and she's in charge of the pace. Half mile, 48.95, steady as she goes. Maximum Offer to just inside 3 furlongs from home. With on the outside, Prom Queen poised for a bid. Maximum Offer tackled by
Prom
Prom
doesn't
Queen,
have it.
and Betty's Pearl is right there in range.
I don't think
With on
he's
the
got.
outside,
I don't think. I
Star
think you're a
Actress,
winner.
who's in the four-path, making
Hate to
progress
put you
now
in
for
there.
Junior Alvarado, and Nala up the rail. They turn for home. 3/4 for Maximum Offer has led them a long way. In 1 minute 12.44 seconds, Betty's Pearl is coming with a charge, but Maximum Offer,
Come on,
she's
Prom. At
still
least go
there.
by.
Luis Saez
I
past
mean,
the 60,
Betty.
and Maximum Offer was
Unbelievable.
unstoppable in the
Are you
Indiana
kidding me?
Oaks. Maximum Offer, wire to wire, 1 by 3 from Betty's Pearl and Nala. Then Prom Queen and Star Actress was last.
I can't buy a winner, man.
Why do we play this game?
Well, we said the 3 was lone speed. I mean, Prom Queen is just not that good of a horse. I think we now know. I mean, I think this was the last ditch effort. You know, like why throw Nala in the race? Nala finished better than the 5. I guess that's why Brad Cox throws both in there.
I'll tell you what. I mean, to be honest, though, Betty's Pearl wasn't much better. To be very fair, I mean,
there was no pace, though. I mean,
well, I know, but she barely beat the 2. Did she beat the 2?
No.
Second?
Yeah, no, she did. She got up for
She
second,
did.
but
I mean, if she's really that good, 3, 4, 2. Lone speed just gets loose. That is very bad for myself. It's bad for Andrew. It's bad for Kyle. It's bad for a lot of people. I'm not surprised the 3 got the lead, but I'll just say it. Maybe you're going to disagree. The 5 didn't run a step, and the 4 ran a half step. The 4 was only 2.5 lengths off Andrew. I mean, to me, the 4 had no excuse. That was I'm sorry. I know there was not a lot of pace, but if the 4 is really that good, I mean, she lost by what, 2.5? Like if she gets nosed out or loses by like a half length, closing like a train, I would agree with you. But I mean, that was just the 2 favorites were awful, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's not too far off with the agreement there. The 3 was just easy lead and never looked back. I mean, that's a typical Saez ride, and of course, when we need Saez in the turf race with Vote No, he you know, things don't go his way, and then when we don't have him, he walks the dog on the lead and beats us both. So. You know, it's just how it goes. It's just racing, I guess.
I have no regrets with my pick 5. I wouldn't have had the 3 anywhere. I mean, there's no way I would have thought the 3 was going to beat both of them. Let's show Maximum Offer and give this horse the credit that she deserves, though. She got loose. The one thing that you do notice, though, is she really hasn't gotten loose in any of her races. So when horses get brave, things can happen. I will say that. I'm sure you would agree with that. And she did get brave. I mean, she's really never been loose before, ever. And even the Fairgrounds Oaks, she was had to work very hard in that race, and I was there that day. I remember it well. So I guess if you want to say she's never been loose, and that's why she just won well. But to me, the fact that the other Cox almost beat the 4, and that the 5 did no running at all, I'll tell you what, I had to tip my cap to Brian Aragoni and you, who didn't like the 5 at all, honestly. You guys were exactly right. This was a means to an end or whatever. She was absolutely awful. I'm sure Kyle's going to be more than excited to come on as Maximum Offer. Kyle, I guess we can say the 3 has never been loose on the lead in her career, but the fact that the 5 was just that bad, she didn't run a step. And frankly, Andrew and I disagree, Kyle. But I don't think Betty's Pearl ran that well either, to be very honest.
I was going to come on, and this is not red boarding. I said it on the show. I was right and wrong. The 5 was absolutely awful. But I was right that if the only way that she loses is if the 3 gets loose. And 3 got loose, ended up going on. I have at least a decent hedge for like $250 to the 8 so hopefully that's the case for me, but sorry, I have a double to the 8 leading change for about $250 as a little bit of a hedge. But yeah, right and wrong, yeah, there's no sugarcoating it. 5 was awful. I don't know, I actually was okay. I don't know how you guys felt. I didn't get on, I was perfectly fine with her going to that, just having her sit off. Nothing.
You
Just
Or losing.
not good.
Kyle, you froze up. Actually, your video froze up, but your sound is good. We're having a little debate in the chat now. With Andrew and Charlie in the chat. The reason why I say the 4 didn't run well is I know she's a bit of a closer, and Kyle and Andrew, but the 4 Betty's Pearl just got a 90 fig, and if she's really that good, she was already close to a slow pace. She should have had more kick, is my point. She barely got second, Kyle. I don't think it was a good effort at all. Andrew disagrees, so does Charlie Freeman.
Yeah, I mean, I've already made it clear. I think I was with you the whole time, and maybe right or wrong. Yeah, you can argue exactly that, but it's a 5-horse field going 48. It's not a 12-horse field where she's 11th going 48. I mean, she's sitting
and
fourth,
she's in the clear. Like, what was her excuse?
Yeah.
She ranged up and didn't explode in the lane. If she was that good, like I told Andrew, Kyle, like if the 4, and I'm not redboarding, I was wrong. Look, I mean, I was wrong. Prime Cream was awful. And by the way, tip of the cap to Brian Aragoni, Kyle, who suggested this might be, a means to an end or whatever. My opinion here on the 4, guys, is if she loses by like a half a length and like gallops out big and looks like a big time horse, Kyle, and you had the 4 or anyone had the 4, I could say okay, the 4 was the right call. The 4 barely got second, didn't really gallop out great, didn't explode in the lane with no excuses. So I guess you and I will have to disagree with others on how good the 4 was today.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be a contentious point for a lot of people. It's just, it's the age-old trip comparison of, who ran the better race, blah, blah, blah. Maximum Offer got away, and there's nothing you can do about it. And maybe, again, the Tom Espinoza hits it on the head. Maybe he'll just do that again. Because I don't know. I assume Leading Change is going to get the very similar trip to that, to Prom Queen. And maybe he's just better. I don't know. But
yeah, Peter, look, in the last 2 weeks, Kyle, anyone that knows me well, like you guys do, and people that watch the show, like, I like to beat favorites if possible, but I'm also very happy betting favorites if I love them. And if I like a favorite, that means I really like a favorite. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just going to pick a favorite just because. And the 2 favorites, Andrew, on the show, I didn't love Prom Queen, but I thought she was the best. Tricky Business was awful. When favorites that are best on paper run badly, this is a very tough game, and I'm not making excuses because I had Seminole Chief in the turf race because I thought it was wide open. But when 2 favorites don't run great, that makes this game very, very difficult, and I'll probably lose those situations. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I agree. When you have certain horses that you want to build your day around, and they don't show up, it stings a little bit more than normal.
Kyle, the fact that horse went wire to wire, good, bad, or indifferent on the chances of leading change?
No, you're good. I'm sorry. Say that again one more time.
Good, bad, or indifferent, the chances now of leading change, knowing the track might be a bit speed favoring.
I still think it's good. Obviously coming from sprint to route, I'd imagine he was going to be up close. Out of the Woods and Creole Chrome are the 2 most likely pace setters in here. I think he was just going to sit right off him anyway. He's 3-5 right now, by the way, on the opening, which is
that is insane.
I assume 7-5 if he stays down there. I don't know if that's just Irad Cox, or if that horse is just going to be a monster. I'm going to go check them out. They're posted 31 minutes to post, of course. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
Got a long way to get there, but either way, I'll transparent it. I was $1,850 all in there, 5 with 4, 8. So I was with the 2-1 and 3-5 horse with a 6-5 horse, and just another, unfortunately, in these contests, Howard, just another right play, but just another 6-5 that unfortunately can't run for me. And said that one's not even close. So,
but, that being said, Kyle, like Andrew said, let's be fair to ourselves and everyone. If the horse barely lost by half length, got a bad trip, that's one thing. We were just wrong. She was absolutely awful. We just misread the feeling in the room, so to speak. Brian Aragoni was exactly right. This horse she's either overrated or this just wasn't the spot. I just figured Cox wouldn't send her here if she wasn't ready. She was awful. I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it.
Plain awful. I mean, she sat right off the cold pace and faded back. Plain awful. And unfortunately,
by the way,
sometimes
the pick 5 that
Sorry.
just ended, the
Mhm.
pick 5 that just ended there, how about 19,000 for that pick 5 that just ended? And I got to imagine the pick 5 that ends with the last race is going to be very, very nice.
Yes, and you can thank Seminole Chief, of course, for a lot of that doing, because I'm sure a lot of people were just Brad Cox and move on.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's just stock, but I mean, IRED hasn't given bad rides today. He's just it hasn't been really close at all with any of his. He hasn't been close at all with any of his mounts. So
No.
well, and you could argue maybe he's just here to ride one horse, and that could be the case. But
yep. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back for the Indiana Derby. It's going to be a very exciting race. I'm excited to see if I can make some money, literally, with a particular horse. I think you and I, well, you like lean change. I'm going to go another direction. I am playing the double, Cal, because I have a bit of a tip sheet wacko opinion in the last race, and I don't know what the double is going to look like. But I do have an opinion in the very last race at Indiana and Horseshoe Indy that we're not going to be discussing. Well, we'll talk about on this show, but we're not going to. Our show will be over by then. But anyway, go ahead and relax a little bit, and let us know when you're ready in the paddock for the Indiana Derby, my friend.
Always appreciate it, my friend. Probably give it about 10 to 12 minutes. I'll be in there.
You got it. Thanks, Kyle. All right, Kyle Roscoe live at Horseshoe Indy, Andrew. Let's go. There's 4 minutes to post to the last race at Saratoga as we sort of lick our wounds, unfortunately. Andrew, I'll tell you what, the first few times you've come on with me, we've been absolutely on fire. These last 2 weeks, no bueno, but we're going to put on our happy face and do our job. But it is painful, especially when you're live to good money and you see favorites get beat. But, you know, that's the way it goes. The last race in New York is the main special weight for New York breds, a mile and 16th on the turf. I feel like it's a 2-horse race between the 5 and the 10. I prefer the 5, Karsten. I thought I like the way that Karsten held on in the lane and beat some of these other horses. I see improvement. To me, if the number 10 coach Ryan Andrew was really the bee's knees, he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be 5-2 because it's Chad. It's a very long layoff. This horse reminds me of a horse last week for Chad that ran fine, ran like 3rd. Maybe this one is better, but I don't like the long layoff. And I know Franco rides for Chad. I still would have preferred Pratt to be on this horse over a Jorge Abreu horse. That's my take in the last race.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think 5 and 10 are both logical. But I really like the 6 horse here. You know, a little bit of a shipper in there for some Mid-Atlantic connections. I don't like that it carries 126 as some of the horses do carry in here. But this one being older, facing younger, is also a little bit of a knock. But in a field this wide open, I mean, this one should be able to be running late. You know, I've been very high on Jamie Rodriguez and the way he's been riding going into this meet and how he's been riding during the meet. I've had a bold take in our chat saying he's going to finish top 5 this year. A little bit might have been a little bit too bold, but he's been getting the mounts and he's top 5 going into this today. So it's still early, but hopefully he can get another big win here. He's won some big races, and this one seems to be. I mean, it's been look, it's been a maiden for a while now, but there's some numbers in there that fit in here, and this horse has shown potential. So one with experience compared to others, and a little bit of a price. Maybe this one get me out the hole for the day, and we'll see.
There are numbers that fit, but I mean, boy, was he bad last time. I don't think he was. I think he was really bad, but he does have your guy Jamie Rodriguez. I've seen, weirder things happen before. I just, I don't know. I think this is all about the 5 here. Right now I'm pressing some tries here.
It does suck though, because if that 2 would have won our single, I would be alive to the 2, 5, 6, and 10 in the pick 4. So it kind of sucks because the 2's another long shot that I think could outrun its odds a little bit.
I agree. I actually agree with you there.
It seems like Zayas likes to win the last race every day, so maybe he'll win again here. And the Canton Marassi barn is just one of the most on fire barns in New York right now. So I don't like how it's not taking any money though. That's the only problem.
Well, a lot of them are coming out of that same race. That's the same race that Carson. I thought Carson actually ran better, definitely better than the 6. I thought better than the 2, and that was his first start. So I like the 5 here.
Yeah, I think 5 is the horse to beat.
Yeah, I would say the 10 is the horse to beat, but I think the 10, again, maybe the 10 is the most talented, but I don't like the layoff. And I just feel like if the 10 was really that good, he'd be like 7-5 here, 6-5, and
I
he's
agree.
2-1. I know it's a relatively open field. It's also a wide post. He's also got to come from further back in theory. Thomas Spinoza brings up a good point that it's first time Lasix and gelded. I don't mind the first time Lasix. I'm not sure the gelding is a positive necessarily. I mean, the horse can be out there angry, like, where are my nuts? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, gelding's I don't really, it's not an angle I really find unless it's one of those horses that's been off for like 6+ months and ran really crappy last time out, like maybe like after its first start, and they had gelding, Lasix, all this new stuff, and then that's a horse I'll probably add just because it seems like it's a brand new horse. But a horse like this 10 for Chad, I mean, I don't think it really has any effect.
Well, like, I mean, he's a New York bred, right? And he ran well at 2. Do you really think Chad wanted to geld him? Like, there's no way.
Right,
You know,
exactly. So maybe he did need it, but at the same time, it's like if he was that good of a horse, they would have saved it and this, that, and the third, so he can go maybe breed a little bit here and there. But
yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure he needed the gelding. Like Chad's not, I'm sure he needed the gelding, Andrew.
It's post time. They're loading in the
game.
Yeah, I think they're trying to more so win a race than worry about what's going to happen after the career.
I put a win bet on the 5. I have an exacta 5-10, and then I also played a try with the 5 in second with a bunch of horses on top, not just the 10, because I don't know what is about the 10. I even threw the 4 in there, which is a speed horse that maybe can't run at all, but we've seen Bond do crazy stuff once in a while. I put the 11 in there, even though Linda's horrible at this kind of.
I really don't hate the 1 either as a price underneath, but I wouldn't.
I think Andrew had the 1. I think Andrew.
Right, Greg,
I think Jackson the 1 in
Ryan
third this morning on Talking Horses. Andrew.
So yeah, no, I don't hate it underneath, but okay. I can't put it in the top. So
well, especially if you're a fan of Big Bang Theory. Are you familiar with that reference?
No, but I do watch a lot of the clips on Instagram Reels from time to time. So.
All right, here we go. Last race at Saratoga. I've got nothing on the line except for a vertical bet. So I don't know. Maybe I can get home. We'll see. Good luck, everyone.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Fast start for Karsten. Tislari is up close. Professor Proton is down along the inside. And then it's Manor Park, who's 4th through the early stages. Runcut moves through very willingly along the inside, and he moves to take that 3rd spot, rounding the clubhouse turn. Before the Wind is racing in mid-pack.
Pretty honest pace this time.
Racing 2 clear of Imperial Anthem. Tango is next through an opening quarter that went in 23 and 1/5 seconds. At the back of the field are Coach Ryan, Classic Commander, and Maximum.
Your 6 is getting an absolute dream trip so far. If he's any good at all. Find out.
Proton.
Yeah, I like where he's at.
Ensuring the pace in front by a length and a half. Karsten gets the nice setup now, just cutting in, making it 1 length advantage. Runcut is in 3rd. Then Tislari in 4th before the Wind, 5th, 5 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Manor Park. Imperial Anthem is next. Coach Ryan in the turquoise still has 10 lengths to make up. He's asked to pick it up now into the far turn. Down on the inside, Tango with Classic Commander through a half that went in 48 and 1. Maximum Heat still is the trailer. Professor Proton has been the controlling speed. Karsten is 3/4 of a length back second. These two 1-2 the whole journey. Behind them, Tislari angles out in the purple colors. Runcut is down at the rail. 1 furlong left for Professor Proton, clinging to the lead, a length and a half. Down the center, Coach Ryan is starting to come home nicely. Coach Ryan has 3.5 to make up in the final 16th. He's lugging in just a touch. Professor Proton, Manor Park on the outside with a late surge. Manor Park will take the lead, and Manor Park gets there. Coach Ryan a flying second. Professor Proton was 3rd. It was a scramble for 4th.
Okay, I want to clarify. Coach Ryan was not flying for 2nd. I don't mean disrespectful to Miramati, I love Miramati. I love Miramati, and he's a great announcer, but the 10 was not flying for 2nd. 9-10-1, I believe.
Yeah. No,
9-10-1. Karsten.
They were going so slow.
It was a fast pace early, but the 1 stayed there, so the 5 had no excuses. The race semi fell apart. Actually, Proton ran a monster race. The 9 wins, who I wouldn't have had in the pick 5 anyway. Kim's 9. Yeah, the 10 barely beat the 1. No excuse for the 5. No real excuse for the 10. It was a little goofy in the lane. My instinct on the 10 was correct. The 5 just was not as good as I thought he'd be. And Tyler Gaffleone, a guy that frankly I've been a little bit critical of lately. I thought he was not very good at Churchill when I was there. Wins another race today at 12-1 for James Begg, and this pick 5 has got to be pretty darn good at Saratoga, I would think. Yes, the pick 5 pays almost 15,000, and the pick 6 carries over, my friend. There is a pick 6 carryover, a pick 6 carryover tomorrow at Saratoga, and it's going to be in the, let's see, actually the 5 and the 10, Andrew, were the only ones that were covered in the pick 6. They are both 166,000, and it was fresh money. So that was, it started over because the payout on yesterday.
Yeah.
So with the takeout, we're looking at about $145,000 ish pick 6 tomorrow, my friend, at Saratoga.
Yeah, it gives me something to watch, I guess, now tomorrow, my day off. So maybe I'll have some bets in while I'm on the golf course tomorrow, and maybe I could have a good day.
Well, I'm going to recommend a horse you bet before we leave the show, because I have a very, very strong personal interest in a horse that's running tomorrow in race 4, which I don't think is part of the pick 6, but let me.
Unless there's 9 races, which I doubt.
Oh, are there 9 races tomorrow?
No, I'm saying unless there is 9 races, that would be the only way that it would start.
Let me see here real quick.
There is 9 races tomorrow, so the pick 6 does start that leg.
It starts with Antonelli. Antonelli for Adelphi, Andrew. $500,000 purchase. We've been waiting a long time. I have to be very honest. I don't know if Antonelli is going to be best going a mile. I thought he'd be sprinting his debut. Miguel wants to try him in a mile and see if he can get it. I'm not here to question Miguel Clement at all. All I can tell you is in race 4, the number 10 Antonelli, Andrew, who I have spent the most money on any horse I've ever spent personally from an ownership perspective. I will say that. I'm not going to say how much. Let's just say it's, to be very honest, it's high 4 digits, which for me is a lot of money.
Right, yeah.
We have very high hopes for this horse. He's extremely talented. It is a tough post. It's a mile race, and he's got the 10 hole, although I do anticipate 1 or 2 scratches. But Antonelli to kick off the pick 6 would make my weekend, Andrew, despite today's semi-disaster. So
yeah, even if you don't win the pick 6, just winning that race would be pret's awesome,
Yeah,
don't mind my language,
it's
but
all
that
right.
would be pretty cool.
It's all good.
We just win it. I mean, I've had my buddies win, with the being friends with Trombetta and whatnot, and watching, what was it? I forget the horse's name, but one horse won up there, I believe, a year or 2 ago in a stake race with Paco aboard. And being in that winner's circle was a bucket list of mine, and I didn't even have any stake in the horse. So I know having a stake in the horse, that would be pretty sick to see. So
yeah, I have like 2%, and people are like 2%. That's nothing. Well, when the horse costs 500,000,
right?
It's going to be expensive. So I usually have a little higher pieces of that, but I'm not Mr. Moneybag. So I'm nervous. I'm excited. All that. Let's do this, Andrew. We got 18 minutes to post to the last race we're going to show of the day, which is the Indiana Derby. I'm going to take us off screen in about 15 seconds as I set up what I need to. We're going to take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate everyone watching. When we come back, we'll talk about the Grade 3 Indiana Derby live here on the HHH Racing Podcast. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. Thanks, everyone. We are back. Howard Kravitz, Andrew Rosinski, and live at Horseshoe Indy, Kyle Roscoe. Kyle, about 16 minutes to the big one, the Inn Derby, Grade 2. Set the scene for us, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is a lot of people out here, so I'll try and do my best to get you a view of these horses out here. But 4 to 5 still on leading change. I know the pools are still pretty small as they usually are, but man, this is insanity on this horse. I'll flip it around. Like I said, we'll try and give you the best view that I can here. But the 2 Mr. T for local connections walking around right now, that would be a great story. I'm basically only alive now. It's any bets to the 8. That's about all I got at this point. But our money man in the middle, it's basically been in his stall the whole time too. Really didn't do too much walking around. So trying to keep him as calm as possible. You can see in the back leading change just ended up walking out and walking back in. Like Brad's out there saddling him. I'll tell you what, that pairing, and there's a lot of people out here that came into the day betting that pairing, and they have become very dubious, better or worse of them. I mean, IRAD hasn't given bad rides. It's just the horses just haven't been up to snuff, and sometimes that happens. But 4 to 5 is still a little insane on this horse, I think, even though he's my top pick.
Let me go ahead and you see on the screen there is the field. When did the 1 scratch, by the way? Was that a late scratch? I don't remember seeing the 1 is on the early scratches.
I don't either. So that must have been I didn't even see that. It must have been like not post times, like, but it must have been during the day and I missed that. So
yeah, well, I bring it up because I thought he might show some speed also from the inside. It's now a field of 6. In theory, Creole Chrome is loose here. And I'll tell you what, this is a very talented Louisiana bred. If the 6 breaks really sharply, he's going to have the lead. The problem with Creole Chrome here, Kyle, is in theory, the 7, and especially the 8, will be breathing right down his neck.
Yeah, I was going to say the 7 is the horse I think you really have to worry about there. The 8's the question mark coming from sprinting, of course. I think it's going to be the funny number 6, 7 running around the track together, the 8 sitting right off. I'll tell you, if this 8 is the goods, like he's getting bet down and our money man has to run past him on this track, that's where I get a little concerned. You can see him, he just came out right there walking out.
Okay.
He's another big boy. They're all
I don't see the mohawk on Mr. T, by the way. I thought he'd have a mohawk. I'm a little disappointed. for those of you who go back, understand. Kyle, here's the question with leading change. You're about to see on the screen. And Kyle Roscoe is live in the paddock. Actually, that's another out of order, but that's okay. Leading change is a half to an Oaks winner.
She dares the devil.
She dares the devil, right? Here's my issue. There's no doubt that he's talented, right? There's no doubt that he probably gets the 2 turns, no problem. Here he is right now on the screen. There he is, leading change. What some people feel is the most talented 3-year-olds in the country right now. He looks good. He's a little quiet. Kyle, I wouldn't say, I mean, he's not sleepy. I would like to see him a little more revved up, but, I'm probably being picky.
Yeah, and he doesn't look warm at all. He looks very reserved, and maybe that's just the way it is. But and this is not trying to change anyone's opinion. Brad's been absolutely gushing over this horse over the past week when they've been asking about him.
Okay.
He's saying the same questions we all are. We don't know if he can go 2 turns, but the breeding surely suggests that.
Well, here's the other thing, Kyle and Andrew, and we'll go back to his debut was awesome. I don't think he beat anyone. Big Jake is not very good. Big Jake is a Baffert who came back, didn't run well. I mean, you can only beat who you can beat, Andrew, but he's got to answer the 2-turn question, and he's facing like a grade 1 field compared to what he faced first time. Those are just facts.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't like the odds that we're getting on the horse, but I fully expected the odds that we were going to get on this horse, especially with the Baffert scratching out. So I like our money man. I'm with you on that one, Howard, and I like the 3 as well. I think the 3, 4, and the 8. I mean, I think it's between one of those 3. Obviously, I think it's more between the 4 and the 8. But yeah, no, I'm going to play the late double since they have the $5 double. And I'm using 3, 4, 8 here, and hopefully the 3 gets it at a price. But I'll be fully okay with either of the 3 at this point of my day.
Leading change. What kind of body shape is he? Would you say?
He's actually more like a short like stocky, almost kind of built like a sprinter. The short, stocky, big legs type. But
Okay.
he's kind of, I think he's just a shorter horse compared to like a horse like Zenal. You can kind of see, I don't know how well you can see it, but Zenal is probably a good hand and a half higher or taller, I should say, than Leading Change. But either way, he's like I said, he's held himself really well in here. Wath non-bred cox, you always have to respect it. But the thing is, trusting this horse, especially vertically at 4 to 5 with all the things that he has to do for the first time. I don't blame people for looking at it everywhere else, but again, this is one of those races that I wish you could say like you get this horse at 3 to 1, and maybe with Desert Gaiden you do that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, right, that you get him at 3 to 1 now because he'll never be that price again. But just 4 to 5 with all the question marks is certainly a steep asking.
Yeah, I think 4 to 5 is just too down low. But you know what, Andrew, you and I have been wrong today, so I don't know what the hell do we know. Hypothetical, Kyle, if Leading Change wins this race, and here he is again, he looks very good. He doesn't look overly long. He looks like a real athlete to me, though. That's for sure. Not a huge engine, but just a real nice athlete. Very well put together. If he wins this race by, let's just say, open links, Kyle, let's say more than 2, are we talking Travers next with this one?
The way they're talking about him, Howard, I honestly think that could be the track that they choose with this horse. Again, they talked about him when they bought him at the sale, how highly they thought of him. And then unfortunately, stuff happens. They didn't get him out at 2, late starting, 3-year-old even. But the way they're certainly talking about this horse, it almost seems like that would be the way they go, barring obviously any type of falter in this race. But at 4 to 5, I keep saying at 4 to 5 because I can't believe the odds. At 4 to 5, he sure seems like he's going to be on that path.
Kyle, I've got our money man, the number 4 PPs on the screen. You and Andrew like this one. This one came on my radar too back when we were there, Kyle, on Derby Day, and he ran that very good allowance race, the second race of the day when Out of the Woods won. At that point, Out of the Woods got an absolute dream trip on the inside and went by. And I thought our money man ran a really good third. Then he ran a very good second to Further Ado, although he did get a perfect trip. Maybe I'm getting sucked into something that's not there, but he seems to be coming along like Betty's Pearl. The difference to me is he's gone 2 turns. He should get a good trip. I don't think he's going to be too far back. He just seems like the logical alternative to me. What say you, Kyle, before we get to Andrew's opinion?
And also in the terms of Betty's Pearl, right? Our money man has that second, that's that 2-back start where he got that 91 buyer. Ran that third Out of the Woods, like you mentioned, and I thought he ran a really nice Matt win. Funny, my dad, after that allowance optional losing to Out of the Woods and then losing to Further Ado, he called that this horse would be in this race and he wanted to bet this horse. So my dad is all in here with our money man, with you guys. I think he's got all the chance in the world as well. It's the question for me, as it has been all day, as riders just go up, is the pace scenario and what it's going to be. If he's a little farther back, this track has been both receptive and just complete speedball. I don't know. It's such a weird track complexion they got going on right now. And has there been a horse
closed from more than, let's say, 4 lengths back on the dirt the entire day, Kyle?
Ben Duke.
Actually, Ben Duke did. Duke did, right?
Ben Duke, and then the race after that, they closed decently as well. So, but then like you said, maximum offer wires there, and you could argue just better than the rest. And but the race before that on the dirt too, there was a wire. So it's a like I said, it's a weird track complexion. But if he's close enough, he absolutely has a chance.
Moran, it was the Saratoga last race was 9-10-1. Is that right, Andrew? 9-10-1?
I believe so, yeah.
9-10-1, Moran in the chat was the last race Saratoga winner. There's a pick 6 carryover tomorrow, by the way, Kyle, of somewhere around 150,000 at Saratoga. All right, here's the post rate. Kyle will leave you on screen here. Fortunately, the rain is held off. Looks like a nice crowd. There's the 2 going by. Why don't you just tell us what you see here in the post parade?
I'll tell you what, Mr. T has been amped up in this paddock. So now it looks really good. Has Fernando de la Cruz, of course, as Umberto Rispoli didn't make it. Our money man, just passing me now. You got Creole Chrome, who, what a story this horse is. You know, the Louisiana bred horse, winning all those by 20 legs down there. He's taking another shot up here. And Junior's been riding great. So if you like Creole Chrome, I wouldn't talk you off it by any means. Out of the woods coming up here, we all know how dangerous Sayas can be on the lead as well. And he's won, I think, 3 today, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe ride the hot hand there. I just don't know if he truly classes up to a lot of these horses. But again, we're talking about a horse that went 7 furlongs out of a maiden, being 4 to 5 in this race too. So, and here he is. I mean, yeah, this horse looks really, really good. It's the question marks, but man, that horse, I mean, Leading Change certainly looks the part, at least. We'll see how they can run on the track, but he surely looks the part.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's very exciting to see a horse like this, Andrew, who just is sort of a buzz horse. But as you both know, because you've both been around the game a long time, these buzz horses do not always work out. And I think it's a really good spot, Andrew, for the 8. I wish nothing against the 8. I hope the 8 wins for Kyle's purposes. Kyle, there's still one more race after this for the contest, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Right. So if the 8 wins this race, it's not like you got a seat automatically or anything, right? I mean, or
no. Okay. The 13th race is in, and it's completely wide open. So anything can truly happen.
Take a look at the tip sheet, my friend, before you bet that last race.
I will.
It's a bit of a guess, though. It's a bit of a guess. But, Andrew, I know this is very hypothetical. Let's say Leading Change wins this race, whether by, I mean, if he wins by 10, that would change your opinion, instead of he won by 2. But if he wins this race, where do you think you go next?
I mean, I would assume Saratoga.
Marin. En español, Marin? Okay. No problem, senor. No problema. I don't know how to say the last race, but carrera número 11 en Nueva York fue 9-10-1. There you go, Marin. There you go. That's
teacher coming out to play, baby.
I need Matt AP Matt. I'm a little, ghetto Spanish from way back in the day. Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry, where do you go with Leading Change?
I think it has to
go. Wins this race?
Saratoga. If it wins by 10, I think Saratoga, and if it wins by 2 or 3, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if there's any big dirt, 3-year-old stakes at Ellis or anything like that, or somewhere closer by. But maybe somewhere like that. But I definitely think that it's probably going to go to Saratoga if I know these connections.
Penn Derby is Labor Day weekend?
No, I believe it's like the 23rd or 24th of September, so late September. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these
2 months
horses,
for the Penn Derby.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if any of these horses, no matter who wins, goes to that route. Makes total sense to me.
Thank you. Muchas gracias, Señor Espinosa. El último carrera en Nueva York fue 9-10-1. There we go. Muchas gracias, Señor Espinosa.
One thing I will say, real quick, there was 3 horses that got it. Well, one horse that got a really stiff workout out there was Creole Chrome. Creole Chrome took off from the lighter and got a really stiff workout coming out of the post parade. Zenal also broke off from the pony and took a good one. And then, of course, Leading Change also took off from the pony as well. So 3 horses there getting a good stiff workout before the race.
2 side notes, one related to horse racing, one not. Kyle, there's a Horseshoe Turf Pick 3. That thing's got to be paying a ton. Who won the turf race before the 8? Was that a price before Seminole?
Wasn't that the Sayas horse, the 11?
Yeah, the 11.
In the
stars, which was like 3-1.
3-1. That's got to pay huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, number 2 for you soccer fans. Not that we want you to switch over, but it is 1-1 between Norway and England in approximately the 80th minute of that World Cup game. But this is much more important and interesting. 3-5 on Leading Change. I mean, Kyle, either this horse is the next flight line or the rest of this horses suck, because 3-5 to me is just absolutely crazy. Jeff Tyler says Travers for the 8. That's what we're talking about, Jeff, in the chat. I think it's possible if he wins well here. If he wins for fun, that's what we were talking about, Jeff. The timing would be good, right? Andrew and Kyle would be, what about him? The Jim Dandy is in a few weeks. It's at the end. It'd be about about 6-7 weeks to the Travers if he's that good.
Mhm.
I mean, no disrespect to Noah Maher and you, Kyle, and Charlie and Golden Temple, but who are you really afraid of in this division? Really?
Then you have two oaklawn racehorses trying to vie for that top spot in the same division. So
Crazy.
I mean, there's no standout, Howard. And if this horse really truly is the goods with the way he's getting bet right now, the top spot is for taking, basically, like you were alluding to.
Yeah. I think if I were to search for a little bit of price, I'd go with Creole Chrome. Just want to throw that out. I'm going to go 4-8-6 in the Indiana Derby. Andrew, give me your top three. Again, I'm going 4-8-6 as Kyle knows they are approaching the gate.
4, 8, and 3 for me, and using all three in the late double. So
Zinal's a horse actually we talked about on the show a little bit. I think he'd prefer it sloppy, and we'll see. But he's an up and comer. Kyle, I've got 4-8-6. Kyle, Andrew's got 4-8-3. What do you say, my friend?
I was 8-4-7, so I think Into the Woods might be able to stretch it out a little bit.
Okay.
Creole Chrome's also interesting, but yeah, I threw Into the Woods in there in third.
All right, Kyle. Good luck. Let's see. I'm going to take you off screen. We'll talk after the race.
Sounds good. Thanks, boss.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
16th should help Leading Change, who is really, really good.
You can hear that,
career
Andrew?
start.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Number one, this will be the second start of his career. Big step up in class right now. He is your current 3-5 favorite. Son of Gun on for $800,000. Keeneland September sale in 2024. It is almost post time for the 32nd running of the Indiana Derby. To call the Indiana Derby, John G. Dooley.
Mac Brothers cheers. The horses have reached the starting gate. It is now post time for the Indiana
Good luck,
Derby.
everyone,
Rolling
in the
in,
Indiana
three-round
Derby.
throttle, Creole Chrome first loaded. Mr. T, Mitchell Morrill for Justin Bailey. Winner of the Indiana
Andrew, let's end the
Derby
show with
last
a winner
season,
for you
Mr.
and I
T,
together, huh?
Creole Chrome.
yeah, let's hope.
We could use one.
Science without to the
Because you know who I'm alive to in the double is a single, right?
Zenal.
Just look at the sheet. Just look at your sheet.
Oh, I hope so. Me too.
Yeah.
He's taking money, by the way, in the double, I
One
think.
more.
I think if I saw
I
that
would
correctly.
assume so. Yeah, I like it.
Went on Churchill Downs debut for Brad Cox and Wolfman Racing. They're in the gate. They're off in the Indiana Derby. And Mr. T out to an alert start for Mitchell Morrill. Mr. T to the early lead. Comes out to the woods.
Got checked back to
Leading
last.
Change.
Yeah, 2 came over on everybody.
Runners
Of course.
as they enter the first
How the
turn.
6 is not on
Here
lead is
comes
crazy to me.
Outside Creole Chrome, who's running in fourth as they round the first turn.
If our money man wins
Zenal
from here,
and
he's a
our
complete
money man
monster.
has drifted back toward last.
Just typical
As
of
they
my
go to
day.
the back of the track.
Our
Yeah.
day.
6 furlongs to run. And
Even the 3 got checked out a little bit there too.
23.81 seconds. With Luis Saez out to the woods. Has
It's
taken
going to be
the
one of these top
early
2,
lead
I
here in
think.
front by 3
I'd be
quarters
very
length.
surprised if it's not the 7 or
Howard
8.
Keynes has leading change right there. Close up to out of the woods. Making this run toward the
1 to 2 on the 8.
Mr. T,
Amazing.
the Indiana Futurity winner, is running in third for Mitchell Morrill. Is about to be joined by Zenal, who's coming with a bit up the rail. Our money man is now picking up between horses.
Okay.
And on the outside,
It's a middle move.
Creole Chrome.
He's gotta do it, though.
Both my horses, 3 and 4.
4. Here comes leading change.
Coming
I don't know
together.
if the 4 can
Out to
sustain
the
this middle
woods.
move. We'll
So
find
this is
out.
3
3
furlongs.
looks like he has a ton of horse underneath him.
And the Wildcat
He
Blues
actually
steady
does.
headway for Axel Concepcion. Leading change has taken a short lead from
What do you
out
got,
to the
money
woods,
man?
who tries to respond to pressure.
3's 20 to 1. Oh, come on, 3.
3/4 1 at 10.55 seconds.
Or money man. I'll take money man as
Money man,
well.
one
Creole
time
Chrome
for us.
and Mr.
For
T,
God's
top of
sakes.
the stretch.
Come on, baby.
Our money
Left
man and
hand.
leading change up to the forefront.
Go buy him.
Out to the woods. They're deep in the funnel for long.
I don't know if he
Zenal's
can.
running in fourth.
Left hand.
Tyler Keynes and
Oh,
leading
drop the
change,
whip.
The son of Gunrunner. On the
Unbelievable.
outside, our money man, the son of Mr. Money. Leading change.
dropped the
holds
whip.
Our money man to win the Indiana Derby.
No, he's
Leading
wrong.
change. He's 2 for 2 and repels our money man. Then out to the woods and Zeno.
Wait a minute. He just called. Okay. Leading change won the race. That was a major F up by John G. Dooley. Did I hear that right, Andrew?
I think he was. I don't know what he was doing, but I was more so worried about the stretch.
He just
I
said
wasn't
no,
really
but
listening.
he said our money man won. Okay. It came 8-4, everyone. The jock lost the whip on the 4, guys. He went left-handed and lost the whip. I don't know if it would have cost him the race or not. Our main man ran a huge race. He got checked to last. He lost by a half length. That's great for Kyle. Look, the 1-2 shot one, I know Kyle's ecstatic. We were both right. I'm sorry. Like, leading change never should have 1-2. And if the 4 didn't check at the start, Andrew, and then the jock loses the whip, I think the 4 actually was the better horse today. But we got Kyle on screen. Okay, Kyle, first of all, did I hear that right? Did John G. Dooley just screw that up, first of all?
To be honest with you, I couldn't hear him where I was out in the paddock area, so
all right.
I couldn't even tell you.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Leading change wins over our money man. Kyle, I don't know if you could tell on the screen. You probably couldn't. Is there an objection? No. The jockey on the 4, Kyle, went left-handed mid-stretch and lost his whip. And I don't know if that cost in the race, but sure as hell didn't help. But leading change wins by half length in a thriller.
Yeah, and I literally watched that happen. Tell you what, again, I'm only ecstatic. I would have been a lot more ecstatic if I would have just won $5,000. I'll tell you that much. But Cox IRAD couldn't win 2 in a row for us. But 1-2 was completely asinine on this horse. That we all hit on that. Like, of course I'm happy. I'll take my not having to deposit at Saratoga. Of course, I'll absolutely take that. But I mean, I don't disagree with you that the 4 is probably the better runner in there. I don't know if I don't really know if he was ever going by, but maybe that's, not having the whip. I mean, there's so many different factors in there. But either way, it's a good race. Travers might not be in the contention for this horse now. I'll try and get him on screen here.
Yeah, it was a very exciting race. The break did not help either. I'm sure you saw, Kyle. Our money man checked pretty hard there and was dropped back to last. I don't know where the speed was of Creole Chrome. Maybe he didn't break right off to watch that. No excuses for the 7. I mean, leading change, the fact that it's his second start, I'm going to give him a ton of credit, Kyle. But like we said, the 1-2 is completely ridiculous, and we'll never know, Andrew.
Sorry, sir,
I'm going to say if he had the whip, he goes by. I think that can, a half a length, that can, or to a neck, that can absolutely matter. That being said, the 8 did show a ton of grit, as Right in the Wire says.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sorry, Andrew, go ahead. Please.
No, you're good. No, I just agree. I agree.
Ton of grit. That's what I was going to say. I don't know if our money man was really ever going by him. It's kind of one of those commandment debates we had back in the day. But again, Howard, there's all the factors. No whip, no break. I mean, if is always how this game goes. And I'm sorry for you guys. I know you guys liked our money man a lot. I'm still down money. I'll be completely frank. Obviously, I was with the contest. And that sucks, is when you're right size, wrong shape, and you're down, on a horse that finished really well in the Oaks, and that's all you needed to win this contest. And unfortunately, just not meant to be. As you see, IRAD is pulling to the winner's circle.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll bring on full screen here, Kyle. Very exciting. Great win for them. I think the number's going to come back fine. It's not going to be a blow your away number, Kyle. It's probably going to be, low 90s, I would say. Again, this horse is just going to keep getting better, though, and he's clearly talented. I think Travers would be a major mistake at this point. Cox knows his horse. He'll find a spot. I think this horse is going to be even better as a 4-year-old, is my gut feel.
Considering all the problems they had at 2, Howard, that's been well documented on this horse. They wanted to get him out early, didn't end up. Maybe he's just not, fully along in the progression as a lot of these other 3-year-olds are. I feel like that's pretty fair to say. And yeah, I think you might exactly be right. This horse might come back as a 4-year-old and be the true monster they always thought this horse was going to be. But, I'm saying Brad Cox takes the win for sure. They went that in 1:41.4, and this dirt track's been pretty quick, but that's still a pretty good time for that mile and a 16th that they ran. So either way, another win. I think that's 4 out of the last 6, if I'm not mistaken, for Brad Cox and company in the Indiana Derby.
Yeah, he's all the way out. He's on the furthest right there of the picture. Yep. We can. He's in the hat. It's hard to see him there, but he's holding the number 8 saddlecloth there on our right side of the saddlecloth. Yep. Guys, I think Kyle, I want to let you go here and let you sign off. Any final thoughts? We really appreciate you being at Indiana today. Hope you had a lot of fun. I know there's one more race to go, and the weather cleared out, and another fun day. Is your dad having a few beverages and having some fun?
Oh, we're all having some fun.
Where's Bill? We're not gonna get Bill on screen.
I'll get my dad on screen real quick. Let me walk to him real quick.
A lot of people have never seen your dad before. Let's get Bill on screen.
But I want to give a quick shout out to all the viewers I've met out here. Todd Harmon, Nathan Woodward, Brian, who finished 30th in the NHC and completely blind last year. That guy, fantastic. I know he'll show a shout out right at the wire, my friend. Always a pleasure talking to you. But yeah, I've met so many people, fantastic people here today. Cannot thank them enough. Hey, Dad, they want your first edition on the podcast. Yeah, take the readers off.
Bill Roscoe making his first.
Today.
Hold on a second. Let well, Bill, come on. Whoa, you left us?
I just zeroed out, but I gave it a good shot.
All right. Hey, Bill, good to see you. Sorry about that, my friend. All right. He's in a bad mood. I got it. If he had the 4, I'd tell him that's brutal. I had the 4 also. I don't know what he had,
did.
But...
That's the horse he's been looking forward to. That's here for 2.5 months.
That's right. You talked about on your show. That's brutal.
Yeah.
But
will you please tell your dad and Andrew? I'm not saying this because we had him. He was the best today. I'm telling you, he broke slow. We got checked, and then he lost the whip. He would have won that race under normal circumstances. I don't think that's red boarding. Please put in the chat. I think he was the best on the day. It's just that's how the day went for Andrew and I, basically. Microcosm right there.
Well, Howard, I'll tell you what. If we can get all our bad luck and we can just absolutely destroy Saratoga next week, I won't be too mad about it. But we have to get there, of course, in the first place. Gentlemen, thanks so much for having me. Glad we had a good time. And again, shout out to all the viewers. Always appreciate meeting all you guys out here. And again, if you're in Saratoga next week, come find us. We'd love to have a beverage with you.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. Take care, my friend.
See you guys.
Right. All right, Kyle Roscoe. Whoop, take him off screen. Kyle Roscoe did a great job there for us at Horseshoe Indy. I've never been there, Andrew. He's been there I think that may be his 3rd year in a row. I believe he's been there for Indiana Derby Day. It's about from my neck of the. He's Kyle's closer to Indiana than I am, not by much. 25 minutes. It's probably it's about 2:45 drive for him, something like that. So not too bad, but
it's not the worst.
A little far for me to interested to go there, but for driving. Kenny Neely, by the way, in the chat says no. It's a weak bunch of 3-year-olds. Take this guy to Saratoga. It's not gonna be for the Jim Dandy. The Jim Dandy's only in 3 weeks. We'll see. I don't know. He ran perfectly fine. But if he's like a complete monster, doesn't he run away from that group to me?
Yeah, but he also is pretty green still, it seems like. Still kind of finding his own. But no, there's no excuse. They should have really opened up there. But having a 4 probably wins the race, And it's a bunch of what ifs. Hopefully this your horse that you like in the last can come through for us, because it's not paying too bad with the 1-2 shot in the double. So
I just say, and I had 4-8 in the pick 5, of course. I mean, of course I did.
Yeah.
In the previous race. So I would have, if I was alive, I really would have wanted that 4.
Right.
The pick 5 is paying a lot. I had just full transparency, just to call like it is. I had 30 to win on the 4, and I had a $30 double for 3, but I do have a $20 double that I'm alive to, 8-3, which won't pay nearly as much, I'm sure. The lowest pick 5, by the way, is basically $2,000. And if I somehow found that 3 maximum offer, I'd be live to up to $6,000. I'm not, so who cares? Andrew, a lot of fun, my friend. Weekend Warriors. We'll wrap up the show here next week. Again, let me just put it on the screen and we'll wrap it up. Next week we are in Saratoga. We're gonna have a live show from the first turn at the 1863 Club. A lot of people are going to be there. We also have a meet and greet next week, next Saturday. There it is. We have a meet and greet before race 1 next Saturday at Saratoga. Most of us will be there. And then we have Weekend Warriors next week, time to be determined, but I'll be live from the gazebos off the first turn at the 1863 Club. So I'm very excited. Andrew, unfortunately, won't be there, but you'll be there in spirit, Andrew. It's also, not only is it great racing in Saratoga, it's Haskell Day. And that should be very exciting as well.
That's what I'm more upset about, is because looks like the Trombetta crew is actually going to be at Monmouth instead of Saratoga because of their horse Uncle's Gold, who's supposed to be running in the United Nations, who is the horse that I was, at Tampa with and got to be in the winner's circle there for. And they were like, "Oh, come down, we're getting a box and this, that, and the third." And of course, I'm working day shifts every Saturday this month basically, so couldn't get off. So it's a little bit more bittersweet than normal. So
yeah, sorry. I know, Andrew, you're not going to be with us on Weekend Warriors for a while due to work. Any final thoughts for the viewers or fans? We hope to see you on Weekend Warriors maybe in August. But final thoughts for everyone. Just really appreciate everyone watching. These are a lot of fun shows, even though the results didn't go our way today.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm hoping that the rest of the Saratoga meet can I'm slowly getting the hang of the things of how the track's playing and whatnot. So hopefully the keeps progressing there, and big races coming up with throughout the summer. So should be some good Weekend Warrior shows. Maybe I'll get to tune in during my lunch breaks and whatnot, but or maybe I'll step out and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna be kind of bummed I'm not gonna be on the shows for a little bit.
That's right. Well, you'll be on during the week. So really appreciate it. For Andrew Brzezinski, this has been host Howard Kravitz, episode 41 of Weekend Warriors. Thanks for watching. Crush your bets at any track you play. Go Antonelli at Saratoga tomorrow, Sunday, in race 4 for myself and Adelphi Racing, the number 10 horse in race 4. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.